right, everybody, you're in the spot. You are in the spot. It is that time of year. Andy St. Clair is in the house. We are going to give you our 2026 college football preview. You know this is going to be an extensive one. We're going to explain it as we get into it, but this is going to be everything you need for All Right Bet for the season, baby. Louis, roll it.
Touchdown.
College football is now B1G versus SEC.
Down. Hook.
If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money.
Ready.
Oh, Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works. Andy, my man, time flies. It is football season, brother.
It's finally here, man. I'm ready. I'm trying to do some late cramming here for football season, but I'm ready to go.
Yeah, right. I mean, it is starting up this weekend, right? This weekend is the big game in Ireland, or
week zero. Week zero.
Unbelievable. It's starting up so fast, guys. Also, you also know what's starting up here. It is time for the fantasy football. It is time for DWMOD. Matt, you know what I get excited.
No, it's football season, baby. Let it rip.
They got me stumbling and bumbling, man. I'm telling you what, it's the DWMOD Fantasy Football. It's the Gordon Butterfield Invitational. We are adding teams. You know what? DMs, we're filtering through them. Andy and I will be selecting a few more people. We're going to extend the league a little bigger this year. It's getting more popular. You have a chance to play against me and Andy, and you're going to producer Lou is in the league, going to play against them. We got Abhi Singh, who is back. He wants revenge on you, Andy.
That's right. Well, you need to tell the people the champ is here.
The champ is here. Andy won it last year. You know what? We're blocking people from winning prizes, but we couldn't block them all year. We gave away 3 jerseys during the season for top scorers. People won them. These are beautiful jerseys, Andy. I mean, on my line, look at these things. They're stitched. Whatever team you want. I'm rocking my Warhawks right now. You could get Falcons, Lions, 49, whoever your team is, man. Pick your player. We're gonna send you a jersey, winning prizes. You can't lose. You can't lose.
No, it's going to be fun. You know, last year my team snuck in the playoffs. I think got 7-7, and then we got hot for about 3 weeks, and there we are. We won the whole thing.
Rallied right to the finish, man. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Listen, before we get into rocking these conferences and breaking everything down for everybody, we should probably touch really quickly on what's going on with these kids coming from the pros, trying to come back to college football. They going to be on the rosters or not? What's your take here, man?
Not a big fan. You know, I'm not a big fan of this move in general. And I don't think – and I saw today that the ACC, I think, joined the other big conferences and saying, no, thank you. So I think we got our answer overall. Like, it seems crazy to me. You don't get to go, you know, you can't – you got to decide. You know, the college is a mess, but they just hold on to this little bit of decency, please.
Yeah. Now this should be the last wrinkle from the whole COVID thing and all the injury years they were getting everybody. They put the new rule in effect now where once you've enrolled, you have 5 years. That's it. If you lose at the medical, you lose. That's it. You got 5 full years. You don't have to take a red shirt anymore, and that's it. So I'm not going to say in these guys' defense, sometimes life's not fair. This didn't go down till June. And they were already in NFL training camps when they were told, hey, you could have played another year before you tried to be a free agent walk-on. Not a walk-on, but a free agent in an NFL camp. And some of these guys probably would have chose that. But it is what it is. And the NFL's now got involved. Did you see that this morning? Yeah, the NFL got involved this morning and said, we're also putting a rule in place that you're not coming back to the NFL if you try to go back to college. You're not going to try to go back to a college team, and then they tell you can't play, and then you're going to try to come back, and you cannot be re-signed this year, and you cannot be entered into the draft again next year. You just have to be a free agent, and you got to wait a year. So, and a judge in Texas, literally just hours before we started the show, is trying to overrule the SEC and say you can't make that rule that they can't play. So now that's going to be fought. That's going to be fought.
You mean a weird Texas judge? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, weird Texas judge. You think maybe Sark's got somebody lined up he wants to get on the team?
A&M, TCU, a lot of football. Into Texas, a lot of football.
Yeah, a lot of teams down there might want a player. But here, I think this is going to be real easy, Andy, and then we'll move on here. I think no matter what they do, the Big Ten is going to keep leading the way. And, you know, their first one's out the gate and making everybody follow suit. And they'll just come up with something creative like, okay, so these judges are telling us we have to let these guys play. You can go ahead and put them on your team and they can play. And we just made a rule that if one of these guys plays, you forfeit the game. So go ahead and play them. Yeah, go ahead and play them.
We'll figure something out.
They'll figure something out. You're going to get a big fine, or you're going to have to forfeit the game. So
they won't want to do that for sure.
It's not going to happen.
No.
I don't think it's going to happen. It's going to be like the what's his name, the Sorsby thing or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right,
exactly. It's going to go away.
Yeah, it's going to go away.
I think it's going to go away. It's going to go away. All right, we're going to jump into this thing like we do every single year, guys. So just bear with us. And this year, we listened to you. We listened to you last year that, hey, sometimes, this is such a long thing, and I want to find the conference I want to hear about. I want to get to the part I want to know first. I'm a Big 12 fan. I want to know what's going on with the MAC, whatever you guys want to know. So this year, this thing's going to be broken into easy segments, and you'll see when we get started here, there's going to be a big placard. You can fast forward right on YouTube till you see the placard of your conference, and then stop right there. Bam. We're doing your conference right there. You'll be able to check it out like that, nice and easy, peruse through. And here's the biggest reason why we're doing that, Andy. Because this, guys, lean in here. This is your money maker for the season, especially early in the season. This is where we're going to tell you about teams you don't know about and that you're going to end up betting on. You get looking down your bet slip early in the season, Andy, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to jump on that Sun Belt game today. Maybe I'll jump on this Troy Marshall game. I like that line, but you don't know anything about the teams.
Yep.
And Andy, you know this. Where do you make the money gambling in college football? Is it jumping on the Power 4 games, or is it betting in these small conferences and knowing the big disparities?
It's you can win a little more if you can pick some rando conferences.
Yeah.
You win a little more.
Yeah. You can, because Vegas is also not as dialed in on these smaller conferences, guys, and not a lot of money's coming in on these smaller conferences to move the lines. You know what I mean? So you might catch a MAC game on the weekend where Miami, Ohio's only like laying 3 points to, Akron. And you're like, what? And you're going to jump on that and win some cash. You know what I mean?
100%.
So the small conferences are very important. We're going to hit them. You're going to win some money, and you're going to want to look back on this video throughout the first 3 or 4 weeks to see what's up with
also,
these teams.
you look back on this video, by the way, and make fun of us.
Yeah, please. Please. Do some watch and reacts after some of this stuff blows up in our faces. I'd love it.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, you can destroy me, and no doubt about it.
Lampoon me all over this motherfucker. I tell you, that would be my dream. I would love it. Oh, man. Without any further ado, Andy, let's jump into it here, man. Let's get into the American Conference. There's your placards, guys. Here's what we're going to do. Bam. All right. Hey, let's jump into the American. The American Conference. Listen, Navy, Army, Memphis, USF, Tulane. We're not going to get into all the teams in the bottom feeder, guys. We're going to take the top 5, 6 teams on the odds market to win this conference, and that's what we're going to discuss. So let's start right up top with the favorite to win this thing at plus 475. So that's not a real outright favorite, right, Andy? I mean,
not really. You got that's you can give me a plus 475. I'd love it anywhere.
Yeah, right. Most conferences you're going to see are going to be like plus 150, maybe 200 for the team that's the front runner. In this conference, the best odd, is plus 375. They have Navy. Navy is up top with plus 375. Now, they've had back-to-back 10-win seasons. This is a good program. You know what you're going to get. But they've only got 5 home games this year, Andy. And that's usually a big deal for the games at Annapolis. Horvath is gone. He was Captain America for them. This program's got to take a step back. Their schedule's not as easy as it was last year. I'm not going to be in on taking Navy to win this conference this year. What about you?
No, Navy is. I hate these schools.
I know.
I hate these schools. I love that you started this. One of the schools I hate the most. These military schools, and I love the military. But Navy is. Or was that who we on? Army? Which one? Because I hate both.
Navy.
Navy. Because I'm going to take the under on both. Just let you know right now. Under 7.5. It's one of my favorite bets in this one. Under.
You're going to take them on the under too, huh? Okay.
100%.
Okay.
They're not going to win this conference. They're not going to win it. Don't waste your money. It's under 7.5. Lock it down. This is one of my guaranteed locks.
All right, you better get used to it all year long, guys. This is a running bit on the show. Andy hates the military schools. He hates the military schools every week. Bet against
I don't like the way they play generally, and I don't like that everybody gets behind that one. What was that quarterback you just said? I don't even remember his name.
Horvath. He was great.
He was fine. But look, here's their schedule. It does start off easy. It's got Bryant. That's a win. South Florida, they'll probably beat. Hey, Temple, what they go to Temple, watch out, in my opinion. They go to
Temple's
La
tough.
Tech. They go to La Tech, watch out. They go to Tulane, watch out. Florida Atlantic, I like Florida Atlantic, watch out. They go to Tulsa, I like Tulsa, watch out. They go to Memphis, watch out. Air Force, there's a school I like, watch out. Like, what are we doing? Those are all watch out games. So
Yeah.
no way. Get me out of here. I'm out.
Okay, and Andy's out on that. Listen, let's move on to the next one. Plus 475. This is my team in this conference. I think could really make some noise. UTSA. Look, they've got a high-powered offense. Owen McCown returns. He's the second leading passer in program history. USF and Navy at home. That's who they catch on the schedule, but both at home, right? And then they're at Tulane. If they want to make the playoff, they can't get caught sleeping in week 2 against Texas State. I think that's the big deal for UTSA. When they get into conference play, I already mentioned the 3 games that are the big ones for them. 2 of them are at home, 1's on the road. They can afford to drop one of those. But if they slip up weeks 2 against Texas State, who's a good football team, they're going to be in trouble. But I like UTSA. Where are you?
To me, it's not like a real value, but it is good value. But like, I think there's way more fun teams to bet to win the conference outside of UTSA. Also, I feel like every year, personally, we're all like UTSA, they're going to be good, and then they're always about 7-5, 8-4, and I'm like, I'm personally, again, I'm done with that team, so I'm washing my hands. I'm saying not for me, baby. Not for me.
Andy, don't bail on them yet. You just made a good point. We've been on these guys the last couple years, and now these guys are like seniors and juniors in their season, and they're ready to do it. Don't bail now. Not at 475. That's a good take, baby.
That's a good take. It's not bad. You're not wrong. But look, I would rather have the next team personally than
okay. I think you're talking Memphis, right?
Yes.
Plus 550. Okay,
Yes.
Memphis plus 550. Now, Coach Ryan Silverfield, he left for Arkansas. He did a great job of the program. He gets the big job. That's how it works in the sport. He goes to Arkansas. And here's a familiar name that's the head coach now, Andy. Charles Huff. He comes in from Southern Miss. Now, if you guys remember last year, when he took over at Southern Miss after coaching at Marshall and backdooring his way into that championship because ULL was on a 4th-string quarterback and everyone else was hurt too. He got a big help down the stretch there. He got the job at Southern Miss, and everybody thought, oh, they're going to win at Southern Miss. They stunk. Remember, I told you before the season, I'm not buying this guy. I went to the game, ULM Marshall. We almost beat them. The Southern Miss was not great last year. They weren't good. They fell apart down the stretch. They didn't get what everybody thought. I don't think this guy's as good as a coach as everybody thinks. He is now the coach at Memphis. He's got a transfer quarterback battle going on. It's a complete rebuild on the defense. That's not great. They have a stretch of 3 games in 12 days, Andy, that features Tulane, ECU, and then they get Army.
Yeah,
I'm out on Memphis. I'm
with
Memphis.
you. I think if you're betting to win the conference, like I'd rather have Memphis than UTSA or Navy, but there are other teams I would rather have than Memphis. Also, we're going to find out, in my opinion, a lot about Memphis in the very first game, and it's a very interesting battle because it's UNLV, another team that a lot of people like to possibly make as the G6 representative, but they got their own thing going. So that, to me, that's what we'll find out about Memphis and UNLV
Huge.
for that matter. So
you're dead on. Huge game. That UNLV Memphis game is a huge game for Power 6. You nailed it.
yeah, so I those are not team like. Look, you just said, do I like UTSA? I was like, give me Memphis over UTSA. But if I'm betting in this conference for the win, those teams are not on my radar yet. You haven't hit my radar teams.
Okay,
because this is like if you look at if you look at the odds. Like if it's starting at 5-1, that tells me they don't know who really is going to be good. So
right.
To me, this is like a kind of a fun gamble conference, right? And might as well gamble, right? Like put a little on who you think's a favorite, and put a little on a couple other teams. And I'm going to tell you the teams here in a minute.
Yep, you're 100% right. You are 100% right on all of that. Let's jump to the next one of the odds. Plus 800 USF. Now, Hartline is the new coach, and he's a first-time head coach. Brian Hartline, wide receiver coach for Ohio State for a long time. Played at Ohio State, was a Cleveland Brown for a while. He's a great coach. He's a great coach, but he's a first-time head coach down here. Now, there's a ton of transfers left with Alex Golish to go to Auburn, right? This coach left for Auburn. He took all his guys with him. There's a big turnover down there. They also dodge no one. They dodge no one on the schedule, Army. They're at Army. They're at UTSA. They're at ECU. They're home against Tulane and Memphis. They catch every single team on their schedule. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, I just can't do it on a first-time coach. So first year. Also, like when these coaches come from these huge colleges like Ohio State, where the teams have been really good, I just want to see them. He could be an awesome coach. I have no idea, but that machine, the Ohio State machine, for instance, in this case, kind of runs itself. So I do need to see a year of it, with Heartline. So I need to see it. So in that case, I'm under on him. I definitely could be wrong 5 games in, be like, that guy's awesome. And I'll be like, we should be pounding this team all the time. But I just need to see it. So I'm under on that guy.
You're 100% right, and I think that's a point we made the last couple of years as well. That's an excellent point. When you get a guy that played at a big school, played in the league, then coached at that big school and won titles and stuff, and he goes to a smaller school and it's a rebuild, sometimes they struggle mentally with that, man. Right. You're right. You're right. 100% right on that. All right, let's jump on to the next one here. I think we're both kind of out on this next one here. Plus 700, Army. I don't think so. I just don't think so, man.
I'm never laying Army here. No way. Thank you. No, thank you. Bye.
I don't think so. After 6-6 Army, they're still trying to get right. They dodge UTSA and the season finale against Navy this year doesn't count as a conference game. Right. Remember, there was that big issue that had been going on for years, like this hurts them and then it hurts the conference and stuff. So now they've set it up where the big Army-Navy game doesn't count as a conference game. So that won't hurt them. So that's good for them as well. But on the flip side, they don't even get to play Charlotte or UAB, which are 2 for sure wins for everybody on that schedule this year, I think. They don't get them. So I don't like anything about it. No.
On Army and Navy, like you're needing them to replace the talent they lost with that same amount of talent or better. And it's just so unpredictable with these sort of schools. That's why, to me, it's an automatic under. And generally, I hate Army to begin with, and Navy, and I hate all the armed forces. But this is an absolute under due to that. Like, again, you're going to have to show me Army's going to have to be 5-0 and be like, okay, I was wrong. But until then, I'm under.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, all the military folks out there, you're going to get a big apology here pretty soon when we get to talking about Air Force. Andy will change his tune.
If you went to the Air Force, you're going to love me. You're going to love me.
Okay. Now, down further on the list here was Tulane, but these odds have changed as of this morning. They have Tulane at plus 600 now. They were down at 800. They're at plus 600 now. But look, they got to replace 9 all-conference players, Andy. They got a new coach. But he's familiar with the program. That's a big deal, okay? He's familiar with the program at least. He was the former OC. Early games for them at Duke and K-State. And then play really kind of gets started for them in the conference after that. So they could even dump those 2 games and still be hot in it, I think. But conference play starts with a road trip to Army after those 2 games. That's kind of a tough spot. And then they get Memphis and UTSA. So we're going to know, these are all within the first 5 or 6 games, so we're going to know real early if Tulane is in or out, right?
Yeah, I think Tulane will be good, but it's not where I'm putting my money.
Right.
Not at this conference. I just think that what you just said, like, then somebody gets hurt, and then it's like, then the next thing you know, they're 6-6. So not for me. Not for me.
The wheels could come off the bus real quickly. On the flip side, if they handle business in those first 5 or 6 games, they're coasting down the rest of the stretch. But we'll see. I don't see that happening.
Right.
We'll see. Last one I'm going to talk about, I think, is going to be one that you love and love the value. The last team we're going to cover here in the conference that probably has a shot, plus 800 ECU. Okay. East Carolina is replacing both coordinators. It's starting quarterback and all 5 starters along the offensive line. But they have the easiest schedule in the conference. They dodge Navy. They dodge Tulane, they dodge UTSA, and they get USF at home. So the only real test in conference they have is a home game against a USF team. We just said we don't know what they're going to be.
Yep. You nailed it,
Good
buddy.
enough for you?
That's it. That's my team. That's one of the teams I like. I think if I was taking, I got a couple more, but this to me is the one you place the money just for that exact reason. Schedule soft, the real test coming home. I love the over here. The over is like 7.5. Like, give me the over. The over is coming. The over is coming. If I think the over's coming at 7.5 for ECU, then I think they're going to be one of the 2 or 3 teams that is going to have a shot to make the conference and win the conference. So I just feel like this is why I'm like, don't play Memphis, don't play Army, don't play play this one, start here.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet. I think that's a good bet. I'll probably double up. I'll probably throw a 5 or 10 on ECU and 5 or 10 on UTSA, and either way, I'm walking away with cash. I think those are the 2 teams that I like. I'm glad you've been dropping your plus minuses on some of these teams. Did you have another one?
I have 2 other ones I like in this conference. Just for the record, I wrote down here I give me that North Texas under. I think it's like 5, 6, 7.5. It's in that I didn't write it down for some reason, but that is an under to me. Navy Army under 7.5. Memphis, I said bet the under 7.5. Just throwing it out there. Last year I love that Memphis team, and I think they finished 8-4. So this team seems worse to me. I like the 2 other teams I think are the most fun long shot bets in this conference are FAU and Tulsa. I like both their overs at 5.5.
Okay.
I just think FAU is interesting. Like if you look at their schedule, I'm pulling it up as we talk. I thought it was like, look, they're going to lose to Florida. Then they play Navy. They're going to beat Navy. Then they play FIU, who I think will be pretty good, right? I kind of like FIU at Pitbull, but it's not at Pitbull. It's in FAU, and I like FAU. And FAU's coach is, what's his name? What is his name? You know his name.
I do. Drawing a blank too.
What's his name again?
I'm drawing a blank too.
I don't know. But anyway, maybe he's new. I just kind of like Zach Kitley, I think's his name, maybe.
It ain't Lane Kiffin anymore.
No, Lane's out. Kitley kind of introduced coach. But then they go to Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, that's trouble.
Maybe.
That's trouble.
But if FAU is what I think they are, I think there's trouble for the wrong side for ULM. Then they got Texas Southern. Then they go to Army. Then they got Rice. Then they got North Texas, who I think will be good. And then they got UTSA. And then they got Tulsa, South Florida, and then East Carolina. If they can just win early, if they have to win early. That's how you know this bet is like if they have to win early. So if they can get 3-2, 4-2, 4-1, 3-3, and all they got to do is sneak, 3 games out of the last 6. Like I just think it's a fun bet. You're probably going to be sweating it the last week or 2.
You're going to be sweating.
But I like it.
You're going to be sweating that one.
I like it. I think they're going to be good. And then Tulsa, I really like Tulsa this year. I just think they're going to be better than you think.
Okay. All right, man. Tulsa's kind of on some people's radar, for sure. I'm going to give you my plus-minus wins parlay. I'm going to give you a little 3-team parlay in each division for the plus-minus. In this division, it's going to be Charlotte under 2.5. I know that sounds crazy, but guys, pull up their schedule. And listen, I'm a big fan of Tim Albin. He was the Ohio coach that I was in love with the last 3 years ago and 2 years ago at Ohio. Had that team in the championship game twice in a row for the MAC, won the MAC. They had a great team. Navarro was the quarterback, a tough coach. Why he parlayed that into a job at Charlotte, I don't know, but this is terrible. Their schedule's brutal. They get everybody on the schedule. They got tough non-conference. Under 2.5. They will not get the 3 wins.
I also had it written down. I just couldn't pull the trigger, but I'm with you.
Yeah, it's brutal, man. All right, I'm also going to give you what we talked about, man. I think USF, even with Heartline, they're being sold too high at 8.5. To get to 9, they will need to win 3 of 5 games against Army, UTSA, ECU, Tulane, and Memphis. I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
they got to win 3 of those 5, man.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard. Like
I don't think so.
Let's say they win 3 of those games, and it still feels like a stretch. So it's to me the under feels like the best option for you there.
Yeah, even if they win 3 of those 5, like you said, they got to be perfect everywhere else just to get to 9. I don't see it happening. And probably one of my favorite ones here is going to be UTSA at plus 7.5. If it were 8.5, I wouldn't be in, but plus 7.5 with 6 games on that schedule. I combed over it twice. There's 6 games on that schedule that I can look at and go, that should be a win. That should be a win. I just need 2 more. I'm on it. Yeah, I'll take UTSA plus 7.5. That's my parlay there in the American Conference. Who do you think's going to win the conference here? Who's your champ?
ECU.
You're going to take ECU. Okay.
I think they have the best defense in that conference, and I just give them to me.
Okay. All right. That's what I've got them in the championship game. Here's who I've got for the championship in the American Conference. I've got UTSA, Andy, finishing the season at 10-2, but winning the championship to go 11-2 over a ECU team that finishes 9-3. I'm going to take UTSA all the way. Make a little noise for the playoff, maybe.
I would also I like that. I think UTSA is a great pick, but I'm gonna gamble a little harder in this conference. I would also have, I'm just saying, a little in FAU and a little in Tulsa to win that conference. The odds are too good. Like, Tulsa's like 16, 17, whatever they are. FAU's like 13. I'm like, when we're starting out at 5, this is like an 8-1 in a normal conference. So give it to me.
Right. Yeah. That's a very good point. You make a good point. I'm rolling UTSA. Andy's rolling ECU with a couple of long bombs in there. We'll take it, baby. Let's move on to the Mountain West. There we go, baby. It's the Mountain West, brought to you by the official beer choice of the DWMOD podcast. That's Old English 800. Let's jump into the all-new, pretty much brand new Mountain West. There's a lot of new teams in the Mountain West here, right? I mean, well, not a lot, but it's very different with some of the teams that have left. There's no Boise State. There's no San Diego State. No Fresno State. No Colorado State, no Utah State. They've all bounced to the Pac-12. So, new look here, new faces. Let's jump on the two favorites. There's two favorites. They're both at 275, plus 275. The real favorite here is New Mexico after what they did last year. We talked about that a lot last year. We were betting on them early. Andy, the coach coming over from Idaho, did a great job. They had a great season. We love Coach Eck last year. He did a great job. But he's, this year, I think a spoil of transfers to the new hot school is a problem. This I see as a problem. Now you got a ton of guys that want to come in there and jump on that success, and you had some continuity. You had some guys you knew you liked, and now you got a bunch of guys that are like flashy brand new cars, and sometimes this kind of just muddies the water to me, okay? They've got an overloaded running back room with guys coming in from all over. That's a problem. Now you got carries being spread everywhere. You got money being spent. You got to let guys play. Sometimes it's just a headache. I'm not sure how this will shake out, but I'm always a fan of keeping the tight-knit group together that performed really well the first time around, keeping them intact. Maybe that's just me. I'm not going to be on New Mexico to win the conference.
No, God, no. No way.
No. Not just from a betting standpoint either. I mean, like, I know we're talking betting and stuff a little bit here, but I just mean from a football standpoint, I don't see it.
No, don't like them. I mean, I like them, but they're not my pick. I wouldn't pick. I'd rather have UNLV to win the conference over them. So I'm with you. So nope, I'm with you. We're lockstep here.
Lockstep, because that's the next team. It's UNLV. They're returning the most of an offense. They're returning most of their offense. And what I'm trying to say is, in this offense was a 70% touchdown rate in the red zone last year, Andy. If they got in the red zone, they were scoring on you. Okay? They've been to 3 straight championship games in this conference. They lost all 3 to the team that's gone, Boise State. Okay? Boise State's gone. They're not in the way anymore. I know you're not a big Dan Mullen guy, but he's done a good job here. He's done a good job here as the coach. They've got transfers in from Miami, SMU, and the Vols. That's going to make that defense even better than it was last year, well, which wasn't great, but it kind of brings them up to par and above. Week 0 home against Memphis, you pointed out. This is the big one from there. Somebody who loses that game might be out. That might be too many losses for you in week 0. In week 0. I like UNLV, though. Where are you at on them this year? Normally not your team.
No, Dan Mullins is trash. Like, the problem is, like, he couldn't win at Florida, right? And now he goes to a smaller school, and, like, we still think he's going to be good. Like, this guy took, like, 5 years off of football. His team was bad last year. He just had a lot of Odom's dudes from the year before that, which made him good. Like, I'm out. Like, there's no way you're going to get me to – I do think UNLV will be good, but, like, there's no way I'm putting plus 250. Like, what? No way. That's it. There, you can't get me. I can't do it. I can't do
interested.
it. You can't get me on this. Like, there's no way. I'm out. So no, thank you, Dan Mullen. UNLV is going to have to show me. If you look at UNLV's schedule, like, look, they have some. They start with Memphis. Which would it shock you if they lost to Memphis? No,
not really.
And like they go to Hawaii the next week. It's about a 5-hour time difference. Look, I think Hawaii is an under team for me. It's one of my favorite bets is under Hawaii. But is that Hawaii's first home game? I think so. Do you think they're going to be ready to play UNLV? I think
No.
so. Do I think Hawaii's any good? I think so. Do I think Hawaii's going to be bad? Yeah, I do. But will they be ready for that home game? So let's just imagine a world where Mullen splits or goes 0-2. Then gross. So no thanks. It's just a no thanks for me.
Yeah, rest of the schedule in conference kind of shakes out for them a little bit. They can control their own destiny with a couple of wins there. I'm kind of big on UNLV this year. I kind of like them, but let's jump into the new team in the conference that is kind of a favorite right away because they've dominated college football for the last 25 years, just about at the FCS level. North Dakota State makes the jump now, Andy. They're in Mountain West FBS. They're going to try to crash the playoff, the whole shot. I love this move for them as a football program. It's just a natural move, man. They can play at that level. These kids can. They're ready to go. It's smart. They'll compete, but a first-year conference title, that's not likely to meet. It's just playing the odds. It's not something that normally happens. They are suited for this conference, but it'll take a few years for them to get up to speed in the trenches is my thing here. Listen, they're great at the FCF level. When you jump up even to the Mountain West from the FCS, the trenches are the biggest separator in college football levels for sure. They're going to need to get up to speed, especially with losing two of their best linemen to Power Fours right after last year's playoff run for them. So, to me, North Dakota State, fun team, plus 300. I'm not taking it, and I don't think they'll win the conference in their first year. What do you think?
Horrible schedule. Every important game they play is on the road. So if you look at they go to Air Force, they go to UNLV, they go to New Mexico, they go to Hawaii, they go to San Jose State. Okay, that's 5. What's a record there? 2-3, maybe, and that's at best. So yeah. I think it's more likely 1-4. So that's a pass. That's a no thank you.
Yeah, that's a pass. That's a tough one. Well, here's your boys, Hawaii. They're at plus 400, but I gotta say, man, I am with you. You think Hawaii, when you think Hawaii, you think the offense, right? You're thinking of the air raids, the run and shoots and all that stuff. But last year's success was really on the defense. If you look over last season, Hawaii was good because of the games their defense kept them in. The best D that they've had in 10 years was last season. But they lose the whole secondary. The complete D line is in a rebuild. I'll be fading Hawaii just like you, man. I'm fading Hawaii hard.
They're one of my favorite underbets under in this conference. By the way, they're going to lose to Stanford in week 1. I'm calling it right now. Just give me all the Stanford you want.
Oh, sure.
Stanford's going to beat them. Stanford's going to beat them. Stanford's not very good, but I think that's how bad Hawaii is. But their first game on the island is against UNLV. And if they're going to be ready for one home game, you're telling me Dan Mullen is going to have his wits about him in September 12th? No way. Dan Mullen will not have his wits about him. So
I'm going to be on UNLV to cover in that one, buddy.
I'm going to be head to head. I'll be on the bows and give me all the bows. Sorry, Dan, but yeah, no under. That's an under bet for me. That's an under bet.
Okay.
Can I tell you one thing about this UNLV schedule? I wanted to point out. Starting September 26th, they go to the very dangerous Akron Zips. That's a loss. Then the Zips are going to get them. Then they're going to beat Cal, and then they got North Dakota State. They're going to win that one. And then they go to Air Force. They're going to lose that one. So I just wanted to, any chance I get to kind of rip Dan Mullen, I wanted to get one more shot in on it.
Okay. Listen, we're in agreement. We both think Hawaii on the under, but that Hawaii UNLV matchup, buddy, that's going to be a little head-to-head action for us. I'm sure we'll double back on that one during the season. For sure. We'll be doubling back on that. All right, let's get to your boys, Air Force.
Love them.
Your boys, Air Force here, man. They have the easiest schedule. I see, a trend here. You have done your homework. A lot of the teams you're going to put some smart money on have bad schedules. The easiest schedule in the conference here. They dodge Hawaii. They get North Dakota State and UNLV at home. If Zarka is healthy at quarterback, this offense is going to clip. It is going to clip if that kid's healthy. Could be a dark horse here. I'm with you. I think they could be a dark horse to win this conference, but they're one of those teams, Andy, that falls into a realm I don't like when you're not you're not Georgia running the football, right? And if you're a team that's going to live and die on clock control, when you get behind, especially in this conference, there's some air raid teams, you get down a couple scores, you're toast. You can't get back in it quick enough.
Yeah, but their schedule is paper thin, man, and all they got to do is they're really the hardest game in my opinion for them is the last one, and it's the end of November, and it's at New Mexico. And if they are what I think they are, New Mexico might not be playing anything. Might not have nothing to play for, and Air Force will have everything to play for. And if I can get them at 7-1 to win the conference, and by the way, I think they're going to win the conference, and I'm putting 7-1. I'm putting money on them 7-1. Like, if you look at their schedule, it's great. They start with Duquesne, then the second game is against North Dakota State. You just told me that North Dakota State's going to have a tough time transitioning. I agree. Then they go to Nevada. That's a win. I'm already next week's Navy. I'm down on Navy. Then they go to NIU. No, Northern Illinois. No. That's what. So I got them at 5-0. Then UNLV comes to town. But I don't like Dan Mullen. Is this just another opportunity?
Listen,
that's 6-0 for me. That's 6-0 for me. And then they go to Wyoming. They'll win there. UConn, who by the way I think is an under team, 7-0. Army, I have an under team, 8-0. San Jose State is coming. Then UTEP. I don't know, man.
UTEP's bad too. Right now, you've got them at 10-0.
Yeah, and UTEP's bad. No, let's say my point is, I think they have an over 50% chance to win every one of those games, or at least at 50. Fair. And it's not That's 25. Fair. So let's say the coin flips on their way, the best way. That could be 10-0 before they get to New Mexico. It also could be 8-2. My point is, they're going to have a shot at 8-2 to get into the conference final. And if I can get that at 7-1, that's all day play.
That's an excellent point, Andy. You make an excellent point. When all the teams we're talking about, no one is greater than plus 500 to win the conference, then that says exactly that this is a tight race. They think anyone can win. And with that bad of a schedule, if you can, in a tight race like this, that means anybody with 8 wins, you're going to be in it if you get to 8 wins. They're expecting them to eat each other. And that's a great point. It's a great point. I can't argue with that.
My team. That's the one I like. I'm going to be there. Look, like if you look at some of the teams I was talking about, like Northern Illinois over-unders 3.5, UTEP 3.5, Nevada 4.5, San Jose State 4.5, Wyoming 5.5. Like, whoa, like, okay, let's say they beat those 4 teams, which they should. We're 4-0. They start with Duquesne. We're 5-0. Then we beat North Dakota State, which we both agree they should beat because they're going to be a little, under.
That's a game I think North Dakota State might be in because it'll be their style of football. But
if that game was in North Dakota State, I'm with you. But I do not see them going. They are not going. They're not going to Air Force. They're not going to beat Air Force and Air Force. They're just not. That's going to be too big an environment week 2 for them. In conference, like, no way. I got a no way on that one.
I think that's one of those 50-50 games, honestly.
I think,
like you said,
50-50. But I like 60-40, but I like Air Force. So even let's say we give them that game. That's 6. Now they got 5 left. Now can they go 3-2? And can we get to 9-2?
If they can get to 8 or 9 wins, they'll at least be in the conference championship game. I think you make a great point on that. We're going to double back on NIU here in a minute. I'm sure of that when we get to our over-under plays for the conference. Championship game. Who do you like? Championship game. Who do you got?
I like Air Force, and I don't even know who's. I'm not taking New Mexico. I would probably say UNLV.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Well, I don't have Air Force in that game. I'm going to have New Mexico in that game. I'm going to have UNLV at 10-2, and I think they beat New Mexico to go 11-2. New Mexico finishes 9-3 and runner-up in the conference. UNLV, I think, will be in the mix down the stretch as a group of 6 team that could crash the playoff this year. I think so.
October 17th, UNLV goes to Air Force. If I've ever seen a game where Dan Mullins will shit his pants more, it's when he goes to Air Force. He is going to lose to Air Force. I cannot wait to be on that Air Force money line. Just give it to me right now. Give it to me right now.
All right, Bubba. We're going to see, man. I love it, man. Get into it. All right, let's jump on our plus-minus win parlay for this conference for the Mountain West. We're both in agreement. Hawaii under 7.5 wins. Listen, they're at Stanford, at Arizona State. Then they catch UNLV, New Mexico, and North Dakota State at home. But then they have a game at Wyoming. That's not a party that you're looking forward to going to. Wyoming's tough at home, man, especially late in the season. I'm going to be on under 7.5 for Hawaii. You too.
100%. That's one of my favorite bets.
Yeah, that's a great bet. It's a great bet. Here's another one I think is just a great bet, and you might disagree with me, but this number's really low, man. UNLV over 7.5. They're gonna get to 8 wins. Look at that schedule, man. Seriously, how can Vegas? They're in Vegas. How could they have them as the conference champion favorite and then have their over under at 7.5? Those two things don't match. Like, right? You're a gambler. Those two things. That's a red flag for you, isn't it?
No, no, it's not,
No?
because that tells me don't bet UNLV to win the conference championship, which I would never do, because they're telling you it's too high, right? It's
The differential there is like, I don't know,
too high.
man.
So it's like, this is where I'm like, let's play some 7-1s here, baby. Let's not play 2-1s. Let's play 7-1s.
Yeah. From a money aspect, football aspect, I'm like, come on, you're telling me you think that this team's going to win the conference championship, but they're not even going to get it to 8 wins? I'm going to take them to get to 8 wins.
I think there's a world where UNLV doesn't get a win until September 26th. And that's when they go to Akron, who I think will be better than we think they are. And I like their over 4.5. But I'm telling you, they can lose to Memphis. They're going to travel to Hawaii. The first game in Hawaii. I get Hawaii's bad, but this is one game of the sneak. Then the next week they go to North Texas. Like,
buddy, you're talking with hate in your heart. You got your hate glasses on, man.
They also still got to go to Air
bad.
Force. They also still got to go to San Jose State. They got to go to Mexico. It's like, no,
I think those are wins for this team. All right, man. Hey, you got a glass full of hate for UNLV. I knew it was coming.
This is Dan's fault.
I knew it was coming, baby. Here's one I think we're both going to agree on is NIU plus 3.5. No way. No. You know what I mean? You would say no way. Okay. I think I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to take them to get the 4 wins. I'm going to take them over 3.5, and here's why. They got Jalen Macon, FCS star, coming in to play some quarterback. He's committed. This was the kid, if you remember, was on campus with Belichick in North Carolina, was supposed to be their guy. Saw the hot mess that program was and bailed. Everyone else kind of already had quarterbacks at that point, so he landed at NIU. This kid can play football. This offense is going to score points with this kid. It's if they're going to be able to stop enough people. But here's the thing. Illinois State, Georgia State, those are 2 games that they should win. They should win. Okay. I don't like Hawaii. October 24th, Hawaii comes to Northern Illinois. Hawaii in Illinois, late October. That's not good for them, Andy. I like them to steal that game.
I love that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. I like them to win that game. And then in their final couple of games, they've got Nevada and UTEP both coming to Northern Illinois in late November. Again, warm weather teams. November could be snowing at Northern Illinois. You just got to get to 4. I just gave you maybe 5. I think I'm going to take them to over.
I like it, especially you can get plus money. I don't know if you can. I have to look. But I like it. But you be careful betting those bad teams, because when the ball starts rolling downhill on bad teams, the ball does not stop. And if they start getting beat early and often, that Hawaii is going to come in and smoke them. And we're going to be like, Hawaii sucks, but they just beat them by 21. So
sure.
I'm with you. So, but to me, you got to be truly bad for me to bet the under. Generally, I'm with you. I'm a little more like 3.5. Give me the over. And right. Nevada or NIU, I'm sorry, is not truly bad yet, but maybe they are. We just don't know. So I'm going to pass. But I like where your head's at.
Because I approach this one like this is a double-edged sword, right? And the first thing you think of is, listen, Northern Illinois should not have jumped into Mountain West. That's a bad move for them. It's a bad fit football-wise. It just is, right? But your first thought is all that traveling out to the West Coast for a team that's not very good is going to be a lot of losses. And then I looked at their schedule, and I found out it's kind of the other way around. They're catching most of these teams in Northern Illinois off the lake, you know what I mean, in October and November. So give it to me.
Yeah,
give it to me.
I like it.
I'll take it. All right, baby. Let's jump into
Wait,
conference.
I want to throw you one. I want to add one in there. Air Force over 7.5, buddy. I know I keep banging it, but bang me over.
Air Force over 7.5. Okay, that sounds fair. You read the schedule. I might be on that one myself.
Yeah,
I could possibly jump on that one myself. All right, let's jump into Conference USA. There we go, baby. There's the placard. It's Conference USA. Check it out. If you're fast forward to this point, stop. Here's your Conference USA. Okay. This conference, to me, is notoriously like, boo. I mean, for me, it's always like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like, none of the teams are ever very great. Kennesaw State, in their second year ever at the FBS level, wins the championship last year. I'm never excited about Conference USA, and it's always Liberty, 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 and they always fall on their face. Well, they're the favorite, Andy. They're the favorite at plus 275, and I'm going to go against every bone in my body. I think this is going to be the year they're actually going to be really good because I dove into their team here. They've got the best O-line in the conference, okay, and they're looking to pound the rock. That's their new identity. They're going to pound the rock. Vasco should be healthy at quarterback. He's and transfer running back Kane Udo is a punisher, bro. 6.2 yards per carry at Army, and he's coming over here to pound the rock behind a better line with a better football team and a better defense. I kind of like that. You could also have one of the best defensive fronts in the conference as well. So you're the best in the conference on both sides of the football in the trenches. It's a bounce back year from how bad they were last year when everybody expected them to be great. And they don't have to play Jacksonville State, who is the other really good team in this conference. I think they have an easy path to get to the conference championship game. What do you think?
Well, I'm about to tell you right now, I'm frantically looking for my notes and I don't see them. So that's okay because I remember Liberty is going to be good. I do like them. I'm not betting them to win the conference. What were the odds on them?
Plus 275.
Yeah, it's not for me. That's not for me when Jack State's there. So, and what's Jack State?
They're plus 500.
Okay, you're going to double it. Give me that. That's where I'm at. So I'm like in these small. I'm just going to keep repeating it. I'm probably never going to bet the favorite in these small conferences, and I know I have not done it once yet. So I like Jack State. There's a couple of teams I'm interested in, but that one I like to win the conference. Jack State more than Liberty, but Liberty should hit the over. They should be 10-2. Yeah.
Yeah, you make a great point. For the money, we're going to put the money on Jack State, but for the official pick, I'm going to pick Liberty to win the conference probably. Plus 325 on Western Kentucky. Now, this is the team, if you've done your homework online, early on, everybody's pretty high on Western Kentucky. They think this could be their year to break through. They've got 66 new players on this roster, brother. 66 new players, a brand new offensive coordinator. They lose their top 3 rushers. They lose their top 5 pass catchers as well. Listen, the whole D line is gone. The O line has 1 starter back. For the first 7 games, okay. In their first 7 games, 5 of them are on the road, including at Georgia and Indiana. Listen, Western Kentucky is going to be on my under list, buddy. I'm not only saying they're not going to be in the mix, I'm taking the under on this team this year.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like that too. By the way, I found my Conference USA list, and you know what my first note was? Jackson State win the conference 5-1. So.
Yep. Yeah. That's a great. That's
yeah.
The bet.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I like the under. It's not one of my favorite unders, but I do like it. I have a favorite under, and it hits close to home. Just so you know.
Okay. I can't wait to hear this one. All right, Jacksonville State, like we said, this is the bet here, okay? They're plus 500. One of my favorite quarterbacks in all of the G6s here, man. He was great down the stretch last year. A dual threat. He's a lot of fun. Caden Creel is fun to watch. If you've ever watched Jacksonville State late at night, this kid is fun, man. They got a lot of guys back from a team that went to back-to-back Conference USA championship games. They don't have to play Liberty. And don't tell me Conference USA didn't do this on purpose, so they're both in the championship game together. Please, come on. They don't play Liberty. I love this team's chances this year, even if they lose the opener at South Dakota State, which they're not going to do, but South Dakota State's going to be really up for that game. And
they go to North Dakota State. They go to North Dakota State.
I'm sorry, it's North Dakota State. I don't know why I put South Dakota. North Dakota State. They're not going to lose that game, but if they do, that's possible. They're still in the driver's seat to get to the championship game, like we both just agreed on. These conferences are all, especially these group of 6s, are making sure that their 2 best teams don't play each other till the championship game so they can get in the playoff, right?
Yeah, well, also, too, by the way, just another reason I like Air Force is like North Dakota State plays Jacksonville State, which would be a good game. Let's say North Dakota State wins. The next game they go on the road to Air Force. You're telling me that team's going to be ready? I just don't think they're going to be ready. I just hate the spot. It's sometimes the spot plays in gambling are important. This is a spot play for North Dakota State. Anyway, Jacksonville State. It's funny how these things all kind of connect randomly. Like, it's incredible. You're like, Jack State. Their schedule is lovely. So They end the schedule with, I think, 2 of the 4 worst teams in college football. So if they're close, I like it.
Yep.
I like it. So that's why I think it's 5-1 is way better gambling than 2.5-1.
Yeah, for sure. And you mark our words, guys. We watch a lot of football, especially these smaller schools. I think Caden Creel's a sophomore. This kid will not be at Jacksonville State next year. I'll tell you that.
If they go 10-2, 11-1, he might not. He probably won't be.
He's going to be probably up at Indiana or some shit. This kid is good, man. He's good. He's a lot of fun. All right, plus 600 for Delaware. Last year, their first year at the FBS level, they made a bowl game. They made some splashes, pulled some upsets. Fun little team. Mark my words, Delaware will play spoiler this year. Again, they'll play spoiler this year because of Nick Minicucci, however you say it. This is another kid who's fun. This conference has some fun quarterbacks. This kid's a fun quarterback. 3,700 yards passing last year and 23 touchdowns. He's a gamer. He'll show up. They'll knock somebody off. But the defense, listen, they're going to tank their chances all year. I think this defense will. Take the overs weekly. Any game Delaware's in, look at the overs. Bad defense, good offense. They'll knock somebody off. You think?
I do. I like, this is one of my favorite over-unders. I like the over. It's like 6.5, 5.5, 6, something like that. I like the over. I think to get to 7. So to me, it doesn't matter. But like 7-5, you may be sweating it out a little bit, but I like Delaware for the exact reason you said. I think offensively will be enough to get them to 7.
Yeah, that kid's a fun quarterback, man.
Yeah.
He's like one of these gutsy, like running, and he gets up and his helmet's spun around the other way, and he's back in the huddle, and the next play he throws a touchdown. He's tough, man. I like him. Okay, plus 700 Kennesaw State. You can fade him right now.
Yeah,
you can fade him right now. Last year's champ, not this year's champ. That's what my note says. A lot of turnover on the outside. A struggling Syracuse QB is coming in. I can't even remember the kid's name, but he struggled bad at Syracuse last year. He's going to come in and be the quarterback. Vast majority of players they lean on offense seem to be from Division II and JUCO transfers. No disrespect to those guys, but like when you're counting on a bunch of them to come in and step up and make a run at a conference, probably not going to happen. Kennesaw State is a hard pass for me.
Yep, I'm with you. No, nothing else said. I'm with you.
Yeah, we're gonna be done on that one. Okay,
I'll give you the team. I'll give you my favorite over under.
Let's do it. Let's do the over unders.
I'll give you my favorite one. Missouri State under 4.5. Lost their coach. It's kind of a brand new team, a bunch of new stuff. I think that team is going to be bad, and when I say bad, I mean bad. So give me the under. It's like if I was only picking one thing to bet in this conference, it would be Missouri State under. Okay. And I went to Missouri State.
I was going to say, it's your alma mater, bro. I mean,
yeah. So
show a little tact.
That coach was awesome, and he was really good. He made Missouri State decent in their first year for that program. And now, I don't know. Yeah, they're going to have to – they'll have to impress me, but I love the under there. So just pound the under, guys.
Okay, this is how you guys know you can trust Andy St. Clair when he's talking Vegas specials and he's talking money. He's giving you the truth. His alma mater, and he just ripped them. I promise you. When we talk about the Chippewas and the Warhawks, I'll have nothing but praise.
Yeah, they're bad. Missouri State's going to be bad. They're going to be really bad. I don't love them. If I'm in my little parlay, I like how you're giving that out. I like Delaware over, Missouri State under, and the other team I want to talk about, not to win the conference, but you could convince me. You could, and that would be a very fun bet. Is FIU? Pitbull Stadium's going to be rocking. I kind of like FIU this year. I think they're going to be a little sneaky. The conference, their schedule's kind of nice. They go on I like what they're doing. FIU. So if you want to take a little gamble on the conference, it's kind of fun. Probably won't happen. And just know you're going to be losing money. But if it does, you're going to thank me later. FIU.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I read more than a few reports going through all my homework where people were kind of saying that same thing. They were kind of winking and going, watch FIU. This could be a sneaky team. So I think you're probably right there, man. A lot of people agree. For me, listen, this seems like a no-brainer, Andy. We just got done talking about how good Jacksonville State's going to be. We got done talking about what their schedule looks like. They don't have to play Liberty. And their number's at 7.5. This team's getting to 8 wins. Give me Jacksonville State over 7.5, please. You know what I mean?
Of course.
They're going to make a run to 9 or 10 wins in this conference, right? I mean, a win in the opener against North Dakota State, or week 3 at Ohio, and you're in the driver's seat. You win either one of those games, you're in the driver's seat.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm 100 with you.
100%. Also, listen, this may not be popular, but I'm going to take Liberty plus 8.5. Just looking at their schedule and looking at the fact that they've got the 2 best lines in the conference, they got a solid quarterback, they're going to run the ball. Listen, they've got stability, they've got seniors, and their schedule's easy. I think they're going to make a run to 9 or 10 wins as well. I'm going to take Liberty at plus 8.5.
Careful. That's my thing. I mean, I'm with you. They're better, but they should have been 12-0 the last 2 or 3 years and been the G6 representative, and they finished like 8-4. So it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's hard for me to trust them. So that's why I have the other ones I like a little more. Yeah. Liberty has burned me a few too many times.
I think I'm leaning chip on the shoulder. I think they're going to come out this year, but we'll see. And the last one is one we both agreed on. Everybody seems to love Western Kentucky. Listen, give me under 7.5. And again, for what I said, their first 7 games, 5 of them are on the road, including Georgia and Indiana. Then they're at Liberty, home against Jacksonville State. I mean, they only need one more loss, and it's poof, we win. Yeah. I mean, right? Like, come on. I can find one more loss there. I'm Western Kentucky under. No chance. Let's jump it. The Conference USC, nice and easy and clean as always, because it ain't that great.
Yeah, no, it's going to be. It's the conference final is probably going to be the 2 favorites, and then this is why I just would rather have money on Jacksonville. By the way, Jack State.
Yeah,
because then you'll just the spread is, who knows, it'll be 2.5. Then you can take Liberty. This one makes the most sense to take one of the top 2.
Yeah, I'm going to take Liberty to win the conference. My championship game, I've got Liberty coming in at 10-2 against Jackson State at 9-3. I got Liberty winning that game to go to 11-2, and it's really starting to heat up on my piece of paper here for who that group of 6 team's going to be, man, because there's a lot of 10-11 teams, 10-11 win teams in this thing. I think it's Liberty's year to win that conference big. Let's see.
I love Jack State at 5-1. I hope it's that final, and to have a Jack State 5-1 ticket in my pocket is going to be great. There's no way the college football playoff is going to pick Liberty or Jack State. There's just there is a 0% chance. 0%.
You have to be 11-2 and win the conference, and you'll be the highest
also
ranked.
They don't play anybody, and there's other teams that can go. Boise State can go 9-3, and they played Oregon, and they're going to get taken over Liberty, and that is a lock. That's a lock.
Maybe.
I guarantee it. I guarantee
We'll get to Boise. We'll get to Boise.
But I'm not saying. I'm not just using them as an example. But I'm just saying.
Sure.
That's my example.
I think we'll get back around to it. But I'll just say this: I think Boise is the one and only team, group of 6, that would have a shot with 3 losses. I think other than that,
probably maybe Memphis, maybe one of those teams that play. I don't know them off the top of my head, but maybe that plays some good teams. But Boise for sure, because Oregon. They're doing it. So
we'll see if they lose that game badly. Maybe not, but we'll see. We'll see.
Right.
We're going to get to both of those teams. We'll get to both of them. All right, let's jump in the old alma mater conference here. Let's go, MAC. Yeah. We're jumping into the Mid-American Conference, baby. Let's do it. This is some of the best football in the country. If you're like a gritty old true football fan, these games are on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. It's cold. They're going to pound the rock. There's going to be big shots over the top. They're fun, man. Maction is fun football. Disagree with me or don't?
I love the MAC, buddy.
Fun.
You cook. I'm going to turn the lights on in here real quick. You cook.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Cook a little bit. Run your picks. I can hear you.
Okay, baby, jump on it. Listen, the MAC, it's a lot of fun, but this is also a conference that usually is never going to have a shot at getting a team in the group of 6 because they just eat each other up, man. It's such a long, physical season. They're never really going to have a team that's 11-1. The days of CMU and Lefevre are in days past. So let's jump into the first team here in the favorites. Plus 350 Miami is the favorite here. It's a QB battle still wages on. They might have announced the starter yesterday. I'm not sure about that. There's only one wide receiver with more than 10 catches on the roster. I don't like that. But the run game looks pretty solid with Wisconsin transfer Cade. You try to pronounce this name, Yakamili. I don't know. But the kid's coming from Wisconsin. He can run the rock. He's getting in there. FCS star Rodney Nelson is a big transfer for them. This kid is going to be kind of a wild card. He could set the world on fire, or he could maybe not make the adaptation here. But, there's 4 O linemen that are returning starters. That's a point I wanted to get to because they are going to pound the rock. So the line looks pretty good. We're going to see on that. On the flip side, they lost their best pass rusher to Texas Tech. He bounces. He's one of the better pass rushers in the nation. They don't play Toledo. That's a star for them. They don't have to play Toledo, but they're on the road at CMU and Western Michigan. I don't think it's Miami's year. I'm not jumping on the plus 350, and I'm not riding them off the success of last year. What about you?
Yeah, again, I know I keep saying the same thing, but I don't know why you would bet Miami. Even if Miami is the best team, I don't know why you would. It's like the MAC, I don't think has had the same champion in like some 17 years. I don't know. I'm making up a number, but it just doesn't happen, and I don't know why you would do it. You were very kind to talk that much about Miami. I just think we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. So everybody, don't bet Miami, even if they're the best. Don't do it.
No, we're not. And everyone's favorite to win the conference. The numbers from Vegas are saying 350 Miami, but every review that you read across the internet is all over Western Michigan at plus 360. And it makes me want to throw up. All right, look, last year's champs. Ugh. All right, look, returning quarterback Brock Lowry. They got 3 seniors on the O-line. They got a bruising running back, Buckley. If you watch Buckley last year, especially in the MAC championship game, this dude's a house, man. He's a house, all right? He got a slow start last year, but like I said, down the stretch, he looked like a pretty good running back, man. On defense, it's a complete rebuild, though. The first 2 levels are a complete rebuild, and that's a problem in the MAC because of everything I just said. Everybody likes to pound the ball. You can't have a rebuild on the first 2 levels, man. They might have the best secondary in the MAC, though. That may help them. They could easily be 2-3. 2-3 after seeing Michigan, Boise, and at Buffalo early. You're telling me this is a team everybody thinks could be in the championship. They could be 2-3 with a major conference loss early in the season, and then they head to CMU and Toledo before wrapping up at home with Miami. I don't see a repeat. Here, Andy. Do you?
Nope, they're on my under list. I have them as one of my under teams. This is not my favorite under, but it is an under team. So no, I'm with you. I don't know why you would do it. These teams don't do it in the MAC. It's not how the MAC works. The MAC doesn't work this way. So
no, that schedule's brutal, brother. Michigan, Boise, at Buffalo, CMU, Toledo, and then Miami. Come on, man. Like that reeks if you're not winning 9 games, bud. Yep. I don't think so. Here's the team I like at a pretty good value in this conference is if you're going to give me the Toledo Rockets at plus 400, baby, I'm going to be on this thing. Look, the Rockets have the new Signetti of college football. I'm going to tell you that right now. Mike Jacobs has a laundry list of taking Division II and FCS schools from terrible rubble to deep playoff runs. He's a little Signetti. He is little Signetti for sure. He's bringing in 15 of his own guys from Mercer with good resumes. But can they play in the MAC at Toledo's level? These guys can play at this level, but at Toledo's level in the MAC, they're usually pretty dominant. We're going to see early if these guys can make the adjustment. They'll have quarterback John Allen Richter back, as well as 3 seniors on the offensive line. Solid veteran pieces all over the defense. They just need to plug those little holes in the defense with those transfer guys who are big-time players. I think they're going to be the regular problem that Toledo usually is. This guy's a good coach. I see him getting to 9-3. Give me Toledo to win this thing at plus 400.
That's not my team. I like it, but it's not my team. I got 2 teams. It's not my team. I like it. You're probably right about Toledo. I'm not. You're not getting me in a top 3 team in the MAC. I'm never. The MAC is built for madness. Maction, baby, Maction, and I'm here for the Maction. So that's
yeah. There's one other team I like we'll get to, and it's not this one, but I've been big on them for a couple of years, but not this year. Plus 650 Ohio. A good program. They've been really good for a couple of years. They keep it moving. The offense returns only 3 starters from last year, though, Andy. All wide receivers and only 24 catches between them. So realistically, they've got nobody back on offense. Nobody. It's a complete rebuild here, man. But this coach's identity is really defense. They returned 4 of the last year's 5 tacklers on defense. They're going to live and die on that side of the football. Excellent linebacker play here. Really plays well in the MAC. That's huge. The safety DJ Walker is a dude, though. I do have him on my notes. Safety DJ Walker is a dude. I love him. He covers and he plays downhill like a monster. Look, there's Buffalo and BG that could be considered for the 5th contender spot here. But I'm a little higher on Ohio than I am either one of those two. They have only one road test, and that's at Miami in November. But then they could already be right in the mix by that point, man. They could already be in the mix by that point. The only real test they're going to have is CMU. We're going to see how that goes. It's kind of up in the air here. They could go either way. I don't know. How do you feel about Ohio?
Not for me. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. They're not for me. That's not my team. You haven't named my 2 teams yet that I like. And one of them you're going to want to get fired up about. Because
I am about to get fired up about them right now.
Because last year I said this team runs that triple option. They run that option. The MAC does not know what to do with it. Okay, I was close. All right, I wasn't completely wrong, but I wasn't completely right. You're going to tell me you're going to give me another year? Now this team is going to fit more players into that program that's going to do something that conference doesn't do? Buddy, I'm going to bet Central Michigan, as long as that coach is there running that program, I'm going to bet them every year to win the MAC because I do not think the MAC is going to be able to stay up with it. So I like both Michigans. I don't like Western, but I like Eastern, and I like Central. Central and Eastern. Those to me are the 2 bets, the 2 teams I like just to betting wise to win the conference. I'm probably going to I'm going to go with Central. I'm going to get on board this year and I'm going with it. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, fire up chips, baby. Plus 800.
Yeah.
Fire up chips plus. As always, it's an O-line factory. They've got the best O-line in the league, okay? 7 different starters from last year are all back, and they've got 3 incoming transfers who were starters at the FCS level. So you're 8 deep on the O-line that can play. Come on, brother. Everybody wishes for that problem. The up-and-down offense from last year should be a lot more stable, like you just pointed out. It's the defense that loses a lot of players, but it'll be pieced together with guys that we saw last year in minimum roles play very well. So there's some upside, they think, to these guys. They're going to come in and play.
That's how their defense stunk last year. Like, who cares about losing those guys who stunk? You're like, maybe these guys will be good, you know?
Yeah, it was spotty. Yeah, it was spotty for sure. It was spotty. So, but listen, the offense will need to win games early and be leaned on heavily while that young defense grows up. And I think the schedule is set up for them to do that, okay?
Yep.
The Chips will see Wyoming at home. Okay, and you're not at Wyoming. Wyoming comes to Kelly Shorts. I love that. But then they go to Miami, Florida. I'm not talking about Miami, Ohio. Then they go to Miami, Florida. That's going to be a tough one. But after that, their conference schedule is very favorable, Andy. They're catching Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan at home, and they're avoiding Toledo. This reeks of 8-4, maybe 9-3 to me. What do you think?
Well, 100%. I'm all I'm doing is value hunting schedules really right now, and like in these small conferences, I love it, and so that I love what Central's got going here. Not to mention, I think that offense is going to be better. And to me, they're trying to give you Miami at 4 or Central at 7 or 8, whatever it is. Like,
no brainer.
Why would you? Yeah, it doesn't. This I just don't understand why you would do it at 4. And like I don't know. Just give me the 8 and let's gamble.
Give me the 8 and let's gamble. Yeah, I'm with you.
And I feel the way about Eastern at 12. I think Eastern over 5.5. I love that bet. I don't know if Eastern's going to make it to the championship game, but let's just imagine they're a game out and the last game of the year is a big one. Like we got every hedge opportunity in the world at that point. So give me that. So I like Eastern for that almost exact reason.
Yeah, I'm going to jump right into our plus minuses, and you and I are a lot alike this year, man. I've got Eastern on my list for over 5.5. If they start 2-0 by beating Sac State and San Jose State, we should be in good shape, right? Because they still got Linwood on the schedule, right? That makes 3 wins. And then they have 4 or more games down the stretch here against MAC bottom feeders like Akron. And you just need to get 2-3 more wins. So,
by the way, they're going to go 2-0. Sac State is one of my unders, right? At 4.5 in this conference. They're going to be terrible. Yeah. Then they're going to beat San Jose. Bad. Then they're going to go to Michigan State, who's over under 3.5, who Pat Fitzgerald is coaching. And I'm telling you, I am taking the under on Sparty. So, having said that, there's a lot of pressure on Michigan State to win this game. That means there's not a lot of pressure on Eastern to come in and smack around one of the big brothers here in state. And are you telling me Eastern doesn't want to win that game because they do.
Yeah.
They sure do.
I,
So that
yeah.
game reeks of watch out alert for Sparty. So I like Eastern.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The only team in the MAC that they're fearing more than Eastern is CMU. We've owned them over the years. Owned them.
Yeah. So I just watch out. If they can go 3-0, oh, buddy, that thing's money at that point.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm going to take them in the over. I also like Buffalo at over 5.5. Let's line them up off that schedule there, okay? Albany, Robert Morris, UMass, BG, Ball State, Akron. Okay, and expect them to steal one or more from the MAC hierarchy. So I just gave you 5 right there that are wins. They got to steal one. That's it. That's 5 legit wins.
I have to admit, I like the under. I just think
really.
I just don't like Buffalo this year. I just like that. There's not a lot about that team. I think Akron. I have the over on Akron. So I chose Akron over Buffalo under.
Okay.
That's just for me. That's just for me. But I'm not like I don't believe it in 100. It's not like my ride or die. But I like the under in Buffalo.
Yeah. All right. I feel like that's 6 games I just laid that they could beat you, but you're flipping on Akron, so it's only 5 games really for you. So I get it. And listen, this I think is the steal here. Toledo over 7.5. Toledo's getting downplayed huge this year, and for a program that is habitually at the top of this conference, what leads everybody to think they're going to fall off that badly? 7.5. The key here is week 3 matchup at home against a rising Temple team. That's really going to be a turning point here. Temple, we talked about a little bit earlier, Andy, you and I both agree. That's a team that's on the rise. They're not a joke anymore. That's a tough out. That's a good team. But after that week 3, listen, they win that one and we're in the driver's seat. Yeah. Because they only need one win the rest of the way. I'm giving them the wins they should have. They'll only need to grab one of these. San Diego State, Western Michigan, Buffalo. I mean, of those, you got to grab one.
Yeah.
That's possible.
I'm with you on that for sure.
That's possible. I think they'll be able to get that over 7.5 at Toledo from me. Championship game, who do you like?
I'm going to Michigan, buddy. I'm going Eastern Central. Why not? Let's.
Oh, it'd be so fun.
You know what? It's never going to work out that way. No, it is. Eastern Central. Let's go. And I'm taking Central to win it this year, buddy. Central. I think
it'd be a lot of fun, baby. Yeah, I'm taking the Chippewas too, baby. It's Chippewas and Toledo in the championship game. Give me the Chips to win it and go 9-4. They won't be able to crash the Power 6, but give me the Chips to win it and spoil Toledo's chances, because if Toledo could come into that game at 11-3, I mean, I'm sorry, not 11-3. Nobody's playing that many games. At 10-2. And beat Central, they could get to 11-2, and that's a team coming through the MAC at 11-2. You could put them up against the Boise and get a higher seed. I think that's what I think. But hey, I'm gonna go CMU. You're going with CMU. Let's jump into the Sun Belt Conference, baby. Here it is, the Sun Belt, easily the best conference group of 6, top to bottom. Yeah, I mean, there's so many teams that are good. This conference is pilfered more every year than any other Power 6 from top to bottom. Everybody plays 1 year here and bounces to Power 4. I mean, it's just how it goes. Now, listen, when we're talking Sun Belt, you guys are going to have to defer to whatever Andy says, because I'm here to tell you right now, it's Warhawks all day. Warhawks taking it all. We're going bingo Warhawks. So listen to Andy. I'm just going to lay you some odds and what some teams look like here. JMU's the favorite, obviously, Andy, right? Plus 250. But this roster's gutted after the college football performance at Oregon, right? Everybody jumped to Power 4. They're gone. Both QBs gone. Top 6 receivers gone. 3 running backs gone. O-line rebuild. Complete turnover and a bad secondary is. I mean, this could actually be maybe a good thing. Maybe a good thing for other teams. Right. That's what I'm going to say, man. And who's at the helm for them? A guy you love, Billy Napier.
Sweet Bill.
You can't get me to put money on JMU to win the Sun Belt this year, right?
You sure can't. You cannot. You can't get me to do it. Billy Napier, he's the Dan Mullen of James Madison. Like he had the same issue Dan Mullen did, which is he couldn't win in Florida. And those kind of guys, like, I don't want those guys coaching these little teams like this, like, especially JMU. So that's not for me. I have the under on JMU, by the way. I like the under.
I will make this defense an opposite argument of that. Sometimes these guys that get beat up at the bigger level, it's because they can't recruit and get the talent. And at the bigger level, the talent swallows them up. But to get at these smaller levels, and sometimes they're a little better with the X's and O's and the talent levels out, and they can be pretty good. We'll see on Billy Napier. I don't know.
Not for
Their
me.
schedule-
He's an under. I'm sorry.
Okay. You're going to be on an under. I was like, their schedule's, it could be pretty favorable, but we'll see how he holds up.
For sure. Look, there's as you said, there's a lot of good teams. I'll name you the 4 I like, and I would bet them all to win the conference, and you can just pick from here, in my opinion.
Okay.
ODU at plus 470, Arkansas State to win the conference. I don't know what it is. I don't have the number, but I will find the number. Marshall, love Marshall this year, plus 800 to win the conference, and Louisiana at 700 to win the conference. Those 4 teams are the ones for me. I think I know where I'm leaning. I think to me, we're looking at an ODU versus Louisiana conference final. That's for me.
Okay,
I like those 2 teams. ODU has the best defense in that conference, and it's pretty nasty. And I'm going to take that. That to me, that unit itself is superior than about anything else in that conference, and I want a part of that at 470 for sure.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this is one where we're going to be at opposite ends here. I'm going to be out on ODU. Look, the through line here, turnover on the roster, right? Brand new front 5, quarterback's gone to Wisconsin, top 6 receivers are gone, and offense was everything to them last year. But you're right, the defense is a different story. They got 6 starters back. That defense is very good. It's intact, but the schedule is tough. A loss early in week 4 at JMU, and they could be chalked up after week 4, man, because they could be 1-3 at that point with losses to Virginia Tech, East Carolina, JMU, and even if they go 2-2 in that little stretch, so let's say they beat JMU and they go 2-2 in that little stretch, they still got road games at App State. La Tech's going to be a tough out this year in the conference. I don't see it. I don't like ODU. They're not one of my teams. I'm going to disagree.
They're not my pick. They're not my pick to win it, but I like ODU.
Okay, I'm going to be.
I like Louisiana.
That's what I was just going to say. I'm with you 100% on Louisiana. I think this is the play here. Plus 700 with the QB. When you got a quarterback named Lunch Winfield, your team's going to be good. Your team is going to be good, man. What could go wrong? Look, they're going to be running back by committee, and Lunch runs well as well. Okay, Shelton Sampson is one of the best receivers in the conference. The offense should click. This offense should be going. The D-line is anchored by 2 legit 300-pounders. They're going to stop the run. A 3-way rotation of legit edge rushers. They've got a 3-way rotation of edge rushers that are good, Andy. That should make up for the young secondary they're going to have. With the West being a little light, the West is going to be a little light. I think ULL could coast to the top of the West and right back into the driver's seat for the Sun Belt Championship game. I love it. Plus 700. I'm with you.
Yeah. Hey, can I tell you something? And that in my whole rant, I got a cramp. You see me stand up?
I did. Rant cramp. We're going to get some rant cramps. Troy.
I had to go to the blue tent briefly. I'm back. Just chugging water at the moment.
It's pickle juice. You got to pickle back in the blue tent. And here we go. Troy is a hot pick for a lot of pundits this year at plus 800. I kind of have no idea what to expect here, so I'm not going to go near it. I mean, it could be a really high ceiling, could be extremely mediocre. They were Jekyll and Hyde last year, but remember last year, Andy, we started riding them down the stretch and all the way to the Sun Belt Championship game. And it got us everywhere we wanted to be. Barn burner against JMU in that championship game. They almost knocked them out of the CFP. Listen, they'll need to be better on offense than 2.8 yards a carry, though. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
100 tackles for loss. I'm sorry, on the offensive side of the ball, they gave up 100 tackles for loss, 59 sacks, and ran at 2.8 yards a clip. That's not good at all. But listen, defensively, they're going to be tough. That's what I was going to say on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to be pretty tough. But again, this seems to be a through line here in the Sun Belt. They lost their top 6 wide receivers. What is with every team's top 6 wide receivers being gone?
So many.
It's crazy, and it's always the number 6. It's weird, man. The defense is a huge strength. They've got kind of a favorable schedule. Big games for them are at ULL, at JMU, and at Ark State. I think those are 3 losses, and Troy's out this year.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm not on Troy. No Troy.
No, not going to be on Troy. We're both going to be on Marshall. This is the last team we'll cover in the Sun Belt here. We're going to be on Marshall plus 800. It just seems good, right? They finished strong last year, beating ODU and knocking them out when they looked red hot. They beat Texas State, who a tough team that just kind of folded up at the end of last year. Dual threat quarterback Del Rio Wilson is legit, and running back named Barbie. They got a running back named Barbie. I love the names here. The Herd could be ready to make a move here, Andy. Unlike the rest of the conference, adding JUCO and D2 transfers on the O-line, Marshall adds a couple of dudes that played and got playing time at West Virginia. That's a big deal in this conference, man. Usually they're going the other way out of this conference. Defense wasn't a strong suit last year, but a lot of experience returns. They should hit a 3-1 start on the schedule. That's what I love about this thing, man. They catch JMU right after the Dukes play ODU. That's a big deal. Right after they play ODU, that's going to be a huge game. And then Marshall's at ODU. So they get that back-to-back rounding out there. It's Halloween on that weekend. But another one in the schedule, another team, the schedule's going to be favorable. I like Marshall as much as you do at plus 800.
I'm in on that one.
Yeah.
And I also like, by the way, I agree with you. If you're going to get to the finals, I know I'm going to give you my team. But I'm on Southern Miss under and Coastal under. On Southern Miss under 3.5, I think they're going to be terrible.
Yeah, they're not going to be very good at all. I'll do my over-unders here. I think we both like ULL over 7.5 wins in the conference this year. I've heard downplayed. Yeah, love that. I mean, they've got a very laughable 9 wins on the schedule to me. If they don't get to 9 wins, I'm going to be shocked, man. I'm going to be shocked. Love Marshall at over 7.5, as you do as well, I think. They're the dark horse in the conference this year to make some noise. I think they get to 8 wins. And, of course, I'm going with ULM over 3.5. Are you kidding me? You don't think we're going to get to 4 wins? I mean, we got UAB. We're playing Southeast Louisiana. Home against FAU. I think that's one that we can take right there. Look, we're at South Alabama. That could be a win. That La Tech game, when La Tech comes to town, this is going to be one, Andy, you can throw the records out. These two teams haven't played each other in a long time, and now they're in the same conference again. These schools are right down the road from each other. Throw the records out. That La Tech game at ULM is going to be a rivalry hotbed. That is going to be a mess. We could take that one. You just said yourself Southern Miss is going to suck. We get them at home. I mean, we just need to maybe steal a game at maybe App State or something. Come on. I just laid out a bunch of games we could win to get the 4 wins. ULM over 3.5. I'm putting 100 on it, baby.
All right, let's go. I'm in.
That cramp is killing you, huh?
I'm going to need it. I'm going to take 5 to get to 10. Also, I have to do it. But I am going to take 5 from I cramped up during our college football.
Yeah, hey, go get in the tent and get fixed, and we'll come back with the Big 12.
I'll be back in 2 minutes. Give me the tent, guys. Everybody hold tight. With a horrible cramp.
Get this man some pickle juice. He's hurt.
I gotta go pee for some reason, which is only going to make it worse.
All right, we're back from the blue tent. Let's just get to that championship. We struggled through the plus minus there. You got some pickle juice. You're back in the groove here. Let's finish up with the championship game here in the Sun Belt. What do you think happens here?
I like Louisiana ODU, and I'm taking Louisiana at 7-1.
Okay. All right. I like Louisiana at 9-3 to win this game, to go to 10-3 over a Marshall team in the championship game.
I love Marshall. I love that. In fact, I would also bet Marshall to win the conference. I just love it. So, yes, we're on it. We're on this one together. Is this thing still on? Great. I'm just, I'm in the blue tent right now. The doctors are looking at my leg. I'm like, Doc, man, what a nightmare. This is what makes me respect athletes. One little one, and I'm like, fuck. I'm about to throw my computer. Like, these guys get this shit all the time, and I'm like, get up. But I can barely move when it happens to me.
I'm always like, get up. I'm not a big cramper. I never, ever get them. And my wife gets them a lot. And she's just like, you have no idea.
I don't get them, but when I get them, they're so awful. And this one was awful.
What is it, your quad or something?
Yeah. I was also sitting weird. Like, my legs were crossed under the chair. It was just like there for whatever. All right, I'm ready. Just know, guys, I at the blue tent, they said I could go back out and play. I'm good to go.
Got some pickle juice. All right, let's jump into the last of the Power Sixes. It's the brand new Pac-12, the last of the Power Sixes here, guys. Look at this brand new look here, Andy. Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State. I mean, come on, man. The Beavers are still in here, though, but we got San Diego State, we got Texas State, we got Utah State, we got Washington State. I mean, what's going on? What's going on in this conference, baby? The brand new Pac-12. Let's see who we like here. Now, here's at the top of this conference, Andy, we have to talk flex scheduling. You're familiar with what they're doing in the Pac-12 this year?
Yep.
This is an absurd attempt to make sure they capitalize on bringing Boise State into the conference because, as you pointed out earlier, they're going to be the favorite to be the highest ranked because, I mean, and they've earned it. They've been a Power 6 powerhouse that has knocked off Power 4s left and right. They damn near beat Oregon last year in Oregon. That game went to overtime or something like that. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like, so this is a team that's earned it. I'm not shitting on them. But this is nothing more than a ploy to make sure that they get one more big win at the end of the year to push them to 10 or 11 wins and be able to get into the playoff. Because here's what they're doing flex scheduling, guys. The 12th week of the season for everyone in the Pac-12 will be decided the week before who they're going to play. They're just going to pick who plays who. So, obviously, you know that this is going to be a thing where they're going to have like Boise State play whoever's got like 8 wins so they get a solid win. And then let's just say, for instance, Fresno State's got like 9 wins. They'll have them play somebody to bolster their win count. And then they're going to put them up against Boise, right? I mean, you get it.
And also like these over-unders in this conference, I think it's based on 11 games. So you have to be aware of that when you're betting.
Yeah.
It's not based on the 12th game. It might not count. So just know that's why I didn't put honestly too much time into this one. I just picked like 3 teams I liked and I moved on because I want to see it for a year. I probably, honestly, I wouldn't even mess with it personally because I'm going to be so pissed if I pick a team to go over under 6.5 and they get it at 7 and 5, but they're like, no, that doesn't count. It's 11 games. That will drive me up a wall. So my actual advice is skip. Skip.
Yeah.
So skip betting it. But I have 3 just for you.
Okay. All right. You're going to have to check that on your website. Some are 12, some are 11. Andy's 100% right on that. You're going to want to look that over. But that last game will not count against the standings.
All right. That's why I'm not interested in betting it. That's like it seems dumb.
Yeah. Just seems kind of stupid. I'm not going to be interested in betting a lot of it either. Okay, let's go. Boise State, clearly the favorite, plus 135. Maddox Massey is back. He's healthy, along with 7 other starters from the offense. 2-headed running back combo of Riley and Gaines, who went for 2,000 combined yards last year, are back. 3 starters on the O-line. It all spells trouble for the new Pac-12. This Boise State offense is going to be clipping, which is basically the old Mountain West with Washington State. Right? I mean, competitively, that's going to be about it. Defensively, they'll be as solid as ever, with the only question being the replacements and an excellent secondary from last year. They should step in and play well, but on all accounts, don't expect a huge drop-off here. Other than the opener at Oregon, I don't expect them to lose a lot of games, man. There's not a game on the schedule that's not winnable. The big showdown is with Fresno October 10th. Now, that's early in the year, but that's a huge showdown because I think these are the 2 best teams in the conference. But even with a loss in week on October 10th, early in the season, even if they lose that game to Fresno, they're still in the driver's seat to get to like 8-9 wins and play in the championship game. They brought them into the Pac-12. They caked up the schedule. They know exactly what they're doing. The Pac-12 is trying to be relevant and get into the playoff. Disagree with me or don't?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I like Boise. I think they're going to be really good. I like them. I like Fresno too. They're both 2 of my overs. I like them.
Yeah, love it. San Diego State at plus 400. I mean, listen, I think they're going to be tough. This isn't that interesting to me. The O-line is big. They're very good. They'll lead the way for a ground and pound offense that can wear teams down. That's for sure. The defense will be a key. Last year, they averaged 268 yards and 13 points a game. That defense was a beast last year. They only gave up 24 points once in the season, and that was down the stretch. Listen, this squad is moving. There's a new defensive coordinator. That's kind of a thing. I don't know if it's that big of a thing. It's tough to replace the secondary that only allowed 53% completion percentage, though, right? And they have 15 INTs. That's going to be the difference here for them. Huge question early on is, can the offense take the wheel? Can the offense take the wheel here this year and bail the defense out in a reverse? Weeks 2, 3, and 4 will tell us everything we need to know, Andy. At UCLA, home against JMU, and then at Toledo. That's a tough little stretch, bro.
It is. That is. You San Diego State, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's a tough stretch.
I'm with you. But I that's another over I have. That's one of my overs. One of my other 3 or 4 bets is over.
Yeah.
You've hit 3 of them. You've hit 3 of my 4 bets. I have 1 left. You haven't hit.
Baby. I don't think it's going to be this team. Plus 500 Texas State. Been an offensive juggernaut in the Sun Belt, leading the conference in offense and scoring, only to lose 5 consecutive games. That's what I'm getting at. So the defense is bad, guys. It is bad. Dual threat quarterback Brad Jackson is one of these dudes that I like to watch, though. He is a fun quarterback. I've seen him play in person. He's the real deal. He's no joke. He'll be at a Power 4 next year. There's no doubt about it. No idea what to expect from this bad defense, though, being revamped in the portal. We'll see if it can help this offense out. Week 1 at Texas tells us nothing about this team. They're going to get hammered. Week 2 at UTSA could be ugly as well defensively because UTSA can score. But even if they win that, week 5 at San Diego State, this whole thing could be a shebang and over by then for Texas State. Disagree with me or don't, buddy.
This is the other over for me. I like Texas State.
Okay.
I think UTSA goes to Texas State. I tend to like the home team in an offensive game. Then they'll beat North Texas, and they'll beat UIW. That's 3. They go to San Diego State. Let's say they lose that. They're going to beat Colorado State. That's 4. They're going to beat Utah State. That's 5. They go to Boise. They lose. They're going to beat Oregon State. That's 6. Then they can beat Washington State. Probably it's 7. Will they beat Fresno State? It's at home. It's at home. So, look, I got them at 7. I got them at 7 wins, possibly 8.
Okay.
I like them.
Okay, you're going to be on Texas State. All right, let's jump to the original OGs in the Pac-12. Washington State at plus 600. I don't see it. I don't see it for Washington State this year, right?
Nope.
They're at Washington for the Apple Cup in the very first game of the season. Like, ugh, who wants to do that? Right? Who wants to play your rival game week 1 in a game you know you're probably going to get routed?
I hate it.
That's terrible, right? And then they go to K-State, right? And then they're also going to play Arizona. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, this is going to be bad. Along with tough games, they also have to go to Boise State, Fresno State. I'm sorry, they get Boise State and Fresno State at home, but they still get Boise and Fresno on the schedule. And then they got to go to San Diego State. Pass.
Yep.
No thanks, man. Yeah,
No,
this is a hard pass.
No.
Hard pass. Here's a team I really like in this conference, Fresno State this year.
I like
They
that.
will be a team that I'll bet.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, no,
We're
I
gonna
like
be
them. I'm with you on that. That's one of the overs. Yep.
Yeah, we'll be betting on them for sure, right? 9-4 last year with a bowl win. They're optimistic as ever. This Fresno team has evolved they've evolved into a ground and pound team, which is a little bit different from what Fresno usually is. But Coach Entz knows what he's doing. He comes in for North Dakota State. He's the man at Fresno now. This is very different for a Fresno team to be that kind of team. But the O-line returns 3 starters, and they also get a transfer from Iowa on the O-line. I'm just going to say that's probably going to be a good thing. Iowa O-lineman. You know what I mean? Really tough defense, only allowed 285 yards a game last year, 18.8 points a game. They're all pretty much intact. I think Fresno's a huge sleeper here. This team reeks of 9 wins to me in a run at the Pac-12 title. The ultimate game in the Pac-12 is October 10th. I already nailed on this, man. Boise State, Fresno State early in the season, and that's by design, man. But Boise's had their number. Boise whacked them last year 30-7. So, I'm sorry, other way around. I said that wrong.
Right.
Fresno whacked Boise last year 30-7. So, I mean, that's going to be a team that I'm going to be on for the over-unders. So let's run them. You already gave me a couple. Keep it rolling.
I like those. Those are my 4 teams. All those teams you talked about, the main teams, I like the over. Texas State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Boise State. And to me, I'm going to say Boise, probably San Diego State, like for the final. And I like Boise. I just think they'll find a way.
I think it's a no-brainer for the champ game to be Fresno and Boise State. But buddy, I got Fresno State at 9-3, taking on Boise State at 10-2, And I got Fresno getting to 10-3. I'm going to take Fresno to win the conference. I think they're going to beat Boise in that championship game. Here's my 3-team over under parlay here. Love Fresno State at plus 6.5. Are you joking?
Right.
Are you joking? You don't think they're going to get to 7 wins? Come on, we already explained that. It's easy money. Boise State at plus 7.5 for the same reason. We just walked you through their schedule. They've set these two teams up to meet in this game, and you don't think they're going to get to 8 wins? Give me Boise to get to 8 wins. And here's where I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to do one of those fun ones that you think are a little crazy and fun. I'm going to take Colorado State to get to 4 wins. All right? And here's why. They got a team called Mora on the schedule. That should be a win. UConn, bad. That should be a win. I'm sorry, not UConn. But the UConn, all the guys on the team are from UConn at Colorado State this year. Listen, I think that'll be enough to limp to 4 wins. Right?
Yeah. Again, please check your betting websites to know if they pay at 11 or 12. It could be important.
Yeah, it could be very important. Could be very important because if it's not playing 12, I'm not playing 4 wins for them. But I think they could limp to 4 wins in this conference for sure. You could probably beat the Beavers. I don't know. All right, man. Listen, we gave you the champs there. That's it for the group of 6 guys. We're going to get to who we think gets in the playoff later, but now it's time to get to the big boys. It's time to get to the big boys and talk about some big-time football. Let's start in the Big 12, Andy. Brought to you by the official beer choice of the DWMOD podcast, Old English 800. Let's see what you got here. Start us off, buddy. Just throw a team at me in the Big 12 that you like here.
Kansas State.
Okay.
I love Kansas State this year. Love them.
Okay.
The new head coach is Klein, who played on the team at quarterback like 2012 or 13. Optimus Klein. He was the OC 2 years ago with his exact quarterback, and that K-State team offensively was awesome. The other thing at over 7.5 is that they don't play anybody they don't play any of the big boys. Go check their schedule out, guys. It's awesome. Okay. If they're going to win, in my opinion, they're going to be 10-2. And they're going to have a great chance to go play for the playoff. So I love them. I'm taking them. It's probably my favorite team over under in the Big 12 is K-State. So give me K-State, baby. I think they're going to be 10-2. So you want me to read? Have you looked at their schedule?
Yeah, pull it up. Run it through for the people, man. Let them know what's going on here, man. K-State. I like Klein coming back. The whole thing reeks of upset specials.
Going to take a few. Here they go. They start off with Nichols, then Washington State, all at home. First 3 games are at home. Then they go to then Tulane comes. It's a win. Then they go to Cincinnati, who I think is going to be bad. Then they have at home Houston. I give me K-State to beat Houston. I like Houston. Okay. But if it was at Houston, it'd be a different story. Then they play Kansas, who they've beaten for like 17 consecutive years. Then they go to Arizona State, who I think is going to be bad. That's a win. And then they go to Colorado, whose over-under is like 4.5. I like 4. I like the over, but not K-State. Then the Oklahoma State comes to Kansas State. Here's their toughest game. They go to TCU. And then they got Arizona at home, and then they go to Iowa State. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we doing?
Agreed.
Like, that schedule is made for 10 wins.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. K-State going to make a lot of noise in the Big 12 this year. They're going to be the team that you don't want to see, man. And you're not going to have to if you're a good team anyway. You just pointed that out.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite team. That's my favorite team in the Big 12. To bet.
All right, well, let's get an easy one out of the way. Texas Tech, this has been talked to death on everything you've ever listened to. You and I have talked about this on the show leading up to this preview here and all that. Look, Sorsby's gone. Doesn't matter. Will Hammond, it's no difference. He's just as good, even if he is coming off an ACL. You can bet on that. The real deal here is the defense. This defense is legit. Honestly, it's the best defense in the conference. They're the best at all 3 levels in the conference, man. They're the best up front. They're the best in the second level. They're the best secondary in the conference. They're going to dominate right out of the gates, giving the offense a chance to gel slowly as Hammond comes back from that ACL. We know all this. The toughest spot on their schedule here is early against Houston, and that's at home week 3. Okay, and they won't be tested again until rivalry week against Baylor, which they should win that game.
I think Baylor's going to be so bad. So
yeah.
Texas Tech, we talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. Like, you should bet them to win the conference at plus 100. Yeah. They're going to win the conference, and
then they've got TCU at home.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, you're 100%. They're going to wind up 11-1, Andy.
Yeah.
Look at that schedule. They're going to go 11-1, and that's if they lose a game. They very well could be 12-0 with that schedule. Correct?
Right. 100%.
They could.
We're
Be.
just giving
So
them. We're just giving them one loss. We don't even know where they're going to lose.
I don't even know. I'm just saying, like, maybe they choke one out. But listen, they're going to be in the championship game. That's hands down. I'm going to give you. I'm not going to get to my team in this conference yet. Let's talk Utah for a minute. We know Kyle Whittingham leaves for Michigan. They're plus 650. Listen, I got to be out on Utah just on principle. When a program loses an epic staple that you and I love, like Kyle Whittingham, if you guys are into All Right Bet with us for the last 4 or 5 years here, you know Andy and I are always on a Kyle Whittingham team on any kind of close line. He's just that good a coach. When he moves on, they just normally don't come back the next season as good. And here's the problem for me. Not only did they not come back well, but when you come in and revamp the whole thing, like they're switching this whole offense up to like a RPO quarterback run type offense. That's not Utah. You think that change is going to happen in 1 year? It's not, man. That's just not going to happen. A lot of turnover on the O-line. I don't like it. Keep an eye on week 2 at Arkansas. That's a dangerous game for them. Arkansas is not bad. They're decent. You know, the defensive line for Arkansas is a decent SEC defensive line. So that RPO, slow running offense, slow play read, that's going to be bad news for them, I think, man. I don't like any of that. And then take a look at the schedule here. They've got a 6-game stretch that goes like this. At Cincy, BYU at home, Arizona at home, at TCU, West Virginia at home. Come on, man. No, I'm out on Utah.
I'm in on Utah, actually. Mainly because because I like Kyle, but he went to Michigan, didn't take a lot of dudes. Like the quarterback, Dampier, is awesome. And I think he was hurt last year. And I do think that was last year's setup wasn't the best setup for him. I do think what they're changing to is a way better setup for this quarterback. Now, and next year, and these are mostly Kyle's guys still at Utah. A lot of them are still there. So I just like it. I think they're going to be one of the 4 or 5. You could talk me into an under, but like I'm just a little more positive on Utah. They're of the Big 12 teams, they're in my group of 5.
It's 8.5 though, buddy. You think they're going to get to 9 wins?
Cincinnati, like that 6-game stretch was Cincinnati's going to be horrible. That's a win. The BYU Utah is BYU's better, but like that game is
holy war
always.
Yeah.
So like Utah wins that game, and then they're going to beat West Virginia. Who else? Who else you name in that stretch? Arizona State.
Arizona.
They're
TCU.
Terrible. TCU is one of my 5, but to me TCU and Utah are the same team. So like it's a coin flip. That's to me another coin flip game. So I don't know. I'm kind of in on Utah. I'm in.
I don't know. We're gonna see week 2 Arkansas. I'm gonna be watching the spread in that game very closely. These slow developing RPO offense. I don't know, man. We're gonna see. This team is supposed to be good, but
Arkansas, you're betting Arkansas to beat them because it's SEC. You think Arkansas is kind of good. Arkansas is an under team. Like that's an under team, and
they are.
And like I'll take Utah all day. Like, just give me Utah. Just give me the Utah money line.
But it's at Arkansas, and I'm not just taking them because they're SEC. It's because the defensive line is really, really good, and I think that's a bad matchup for Utah early in the season when they don't have that offense clicking full. And I probably won't take Arkansas to win, but I'm just interested in that spread. I'm going to be watching that closely. I may be on that game. But I think 8.5 is just too high. I can't take them at 9 wins. I just can't see 9 wins on that schedule.
I'm not betting it. I wouldn't bet it, but I lean over, but I'm nervous about it. But I lean over for me.
Yeah. Well, listen. Houston. Let's talk Houston. You like them?
Yeah, but their schedule. I hate their schedule.
Right. Okay. The offense is going to look like, to me, with Houston, this offense is going to look like the 06 Gators in theory, right? Because they got Connor Wegman. He'll play the Chris Leak. He'll play the passer and the drop back guy. And then they got true freshman Kissian Henderson, and he'll play Tim Tebow. They've already set this up in their spring ball. In their preseason camp. They've set this up. The freshman's already in all the goal line packages and the short yardage stuff. It's going to look like 06 Gators to me. All right, they're returning their top receiver. He's back. They're going to Hughes. He's pretty good running a ball through a line. One of the best lines in the Big 12 here. Okay, Houston has one of the best lines in the Big 12. They're going to be able to run the football. They're extremely veteran tested. this is going to be a good football team. They're going to be really tough to beat. They'll need the O to get going right out of the gates, though. And it all sounds great, but this crew draws a tough schedule, man, like you just pointed out. At Texas Tech week 3, at Utah week 8. Then they get Cincy at home, which, I know you think Cincy's going to be bad, but they're always a team that's competitive. You don't want to have them sandwiched in between two big good games. You know what I'm saying? And then at West Virginia, as bad as they may be, that's a tough place to play late in the season. They finish with Baylor, who's probably going to suck. They'll probably win that game. But that's a tall task and a tough run of games there to try and get to a better record than Texas Tech or BYU are going to have. That's why I think they won't be in the championship game.
They're not going to be a championship game. They got to go to K-State. All their important games are on the road. They're going to go 0-3 in all those games. They're going to lose to Texas Tech. They're going to lose to K-State. They're going to lose to Utah. They're not going to win on those.
They very well could. They very well could.
To me, it smells like 0-3. That they're out.
Yeah, probably. Now, let's talk about a team that I really like this year in this conference at plus 550. That's BYU. All right. Not having the Big 12. I mean, listen, they had the Big 12 freshman of the year poached in the offseason, and that was huge. All right. Bear Bachmeier threw for 3,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. He'll be behind one of the better O-lines in the country. Oh, and the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year last year is back as well to tote the rock. I mean, those are two huge players right there, man. The defense was top 15 last year. You watched BYU last year. You know that defense was legit, and they should be second only to Texas Tech in defense in this conference, especially up front in the trenches. BYU can make some real noise here. Week 4 at TCU is as big as any game on the schedule. But I'm looking forward to is week 7 when Notre Dame comes to town. That's the game I want to see, and we'll see what they're really made of. They're going to be Notre Dame's going to be coming to that game untested, Andy. Yeah. Untested. Their first 6 games are against nobody. They'll walk in untested. That's an interesting spot. As far as the Big 12 goes, they dodge Texas Tech. They don't play them. They dodge Houston. They don't play them. And even though they're on the road for the Holy War at Utah, I like them to beat Utah. You got to love the Cougs' chances with this Big 12 schedule this year to get to like 10-2 pretty comfortably. Maybe even 11-1. Right?
They're going to have to, but I will say this, and I like BYU a lot as well. That Notre Dame game is huge, as you said, TCU, but They can't get blown out by Notre Dame. But here's the other thing. They cannot get blown out by Texas Tech in the championship game because the last 2 years, last year, they've scored 7 total points against Texas Tech last year.
True.
7. And
True.
If they get their doors blown off again by Texas Tech in the championship game, they're not getting in. I do not care what they are. They're not going to take 2 Big 12 teams. The BYU needs to keep it close at least, and or beat Notre Dame. That is how they get in. So
yeah,
but that's it. I mean, we all like BYU. We all like Texas Tech. That's probably going to be the Big 12 final. But that is my warning to BYU. They can't. They lost last year in the championship game 30-7. They're out.
They can't get blown out.
They can't. They got us, and I think they got shut out. They can't score against Texas Tech. It's an issue. They don't want to see Texas Tech generally. Like if they can somehow get in there without Texas Tech, yes. But man,
fair enough point. But a real fair point to be made the other way. That if that game's even close and they lose, and they're 11-2 with their only 2 losses being a decent showing to Notre Dame and a decent showing to Texas Tech, they'll be in. You can't leave them out.
Well,
those will be 2 teams that could be on a bye.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Maybe, but they have to have a decent showing. They also can't lose to TCU and the Holy War. Those are the games. Their last 3 games are Cakewalk City. If they're close, they'll get in because they'll blow out those teams and win. But they got some important games, and those couple are big. But I'm with you. I like BYU. Love BYU.
Yeah, I like BYU. That's why I got in the championship game. I got Texas Tech winning the championship game to go 12-1, beating BYU, who finished the season at 11-2, and is very much alive for a playoff spot possibly. Let's play the over/under game here in the Big 12. I'm going to take BYU over 8.5. Look, I'm in. I played out the schedule. I think there's 9 wins in there. I really think that they could be a playoff team. I'm going to take them over 8.5.
Sure. I love it. I love it.
Right. Who you like?
BYU to win the conference. Give it to me. Kansas State over 7.5. Just pound it, guys. Pound it. They're going to win. And I would also take them to win the Big 12. Just because, look, we all think it's going to be BYU. The Big 12 has been pretty up and down.
Sure.
Let's say it's Texas Tech, Kansas State, which is possible. BYU stumbles, Hey, man, if I could have a big ticket on K-State to win the conference, I can bet Texas Tech and feel great about it to cover the spread. So
Right.
I like that. The others I have under Baylor 5.5, under Cincinnati 5.5, Colorado over 4.5. Those are mine.
Okay. All right. I got TCU over 6.5.
I love TCU too. I should say that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a team to get to 7 wins. I think they'll get to 7 wins. They could easily start 4-0. That's the big thing. You look at their schedule, they could start 4-0. They just need to grab 3 more. I'll take that one for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and BYU, like that one,
I love BYU this year, though, man. I like to shit on the Mormons as much as anybody, but I love them this year. I know you and I both got them in the playoffs. I already know it. I can tell by the way you're talking, and so do I.
Yep.
So let's do it.
Yep. They're
Also,
good.
You know what we should do? You know what we should do more than anything is on your books, find odds right now to make the playoffs. It's probably BYU 4 or 5 to 1, 6 to 1. I don't know. I don't get that option, to be honest. But that might be a better bet than to win the conference.
It probably will be.
Yeah.
It probably will be. I'll be betting on that one for sure. For sure. All right, man. Hey, that's the Big 12. We ran through it. Let's get to the ACC, and we'll leave the other 2 big boys for the end. Let's get to the ACC conference, guys. Andy, this is a conference that is loaded with quarterbacks. I mean, this is quarterback conference this year. There's no way around it. Listen, Miami is the cream of the crop here. They're going to be very tough to beat. They're the obvious favorites here, not only ACC to win the ACC title, but they're favorites to be a first-round bye in the playoff easily, okay? Maybe a run to the Natty without a lot of contention, you know what I mean, until they get to the playoff. Mensa comes over from Duke, and no one could have imagined that he would have played that well, right? But he's one of the better weapons that is going to be in college football this year. I think Mensa is a legitimate Heisman candidate this year, moving to Miami. Look what he did at Duke. Wins the ACC. I mean, are you as high on this kid as I am?
He's spoiler alert, Heisman pick. That's it.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Yeah. Right? And he's got a great supporting cast here, too. Fletcher Jr., 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. He's got Malachi Toney, who's also a very interesting Heisman candidate. This guy's going to be all over the field scoring touchdowns for them this year. Kick returning, slot play, screen pass. I mean, this guy can fly. We saw it last year as a freshman. On defense, they obviously won't have the edge play that they had last year. Both those guys moved on to the NFL, but I'm sure they're probably going to reload at that position. And listen, in conference, they dodge SMU. They dodge Louisville. It seems a lock that they'll be 11-1 at the end of the regular season, man.
Notre Dame game, that's the big one.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe they lose that one and it's 11-1.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're going to coast. They're going to coast. I don't know where you're going to land on this next team. You tell me. Plus 750 SMU. You like SMU this year?
I do. They're not I wouldn't pick them to beat Miami and win the conference. That's not my other team.
No.
But they're like 22-2 in the conference. You have to respect a little bit. So I like them, but they didn't make my board. I have to admit. So I didn't put as much time in SMU. I'm probably doing what everybody else is doing and underutilizing them or like not respecting them enough. So it's not my team for me. So it's just not for me.
You're right in everything you're saying, but you know what I mean? Like Jennings is back. He's a third-year starter for them at quarterback. The kid's solid. He knows what's going on in that offense. They got one of the most experienced O-lines in the league, stable of good wide receivers. This offense is going to do what this offense does. The D-line's a big question here. If they could get regularly, if they get some good play out of that defensive line, which I'm not sure that they will, I just don't know. Yeah. Here's the thing with SMU. We're going to know early. They're at FSU week 1, at Louisville week 3. They got a lot of winnable games after that. But if they dump both of those games and in week 11 dump to Notre Dame, they've got to be perfect in every other game to even get to 9-3. And I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it's going to happen. I like them. I like they're a good team. It's not the team for me though. If I'm not taking Miami, it's just not the team.
Yeah, no, not the. I mean, those 3, like I said, those 3 losses there, and then you got to be perfect the rest of the way. I don't see it happening. No. Here's a darling from a lot of people that I'm not sure about. Plus 800 Louisville. Like they got the Ohio State transfer. Lincoln Kienholz is going to be the quarterback here for them. He's a super athlete. There's no doubt about it. He should fit this offense well, but he's never started a game. And his first ever start in college will be at Ole Miss on Sunday Night Football, Game 1. I don't like that. You know what I mean?
No, but I will say, to me, the ACC it's kind of soft.
Yeah,
But
he can run.
I guess what I was going to say is, like, in this conference, I think Clemson's an under. I don't like Clemson this year, and I'm not really into SMU, so I'm just throwing darts, and the dart just happens to be Louisville. That's why for me.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
Well,
I just don't like Clemson. I'm just not in on Clemson.
yeah, if this kid can throw a little bit, Louisville might have a shot, but he's going to need to. I mean, he's a runner, and if teams just load the box because he can't pass, that's going to stifle that offense right up, and Louisville's going to be in big trouble, man. They got a lot of tough spots on the schedule, like I said, at Ole Miss, right? And then they're at home against NC. No, they're at NC State. They're at Georgia Tech. They get Pitt at home. That's before they're going to have to go to Kentucky. Listen, Louisville ain't that great. That's a rivalry game right there. Kentucky not that bad. Like, that's a toss up, right? At best,
Yeah.
that's a toss up.
Yeah.
There's a world where I would take the under on 7.5 on this team.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. Like, look, if we were being completely honest, just you and I here, I'm only betting Miami. This is one of those big ones. I'm only betting Miami, but maybe throw a dart at Louisville. Just pick at Pitt. You can pick all these little teams that you think we get lucky. One of those teams is going to get lucky. I'm just riding with the unknown more in Louisville.
Yeah, I think the sad thing here you brought up already is Clemson. This may be it, man. This may be it. Dabo's on the hot seat, and that's something I never thought I would ever hear. I thought he'd be one of these guys like Jopo that would die there the way he had that program built up out of nowhere. I just did, man. Listen, Clemson's opening at LSU. I'm not as high on LSU as everybody else, but Clemson's not very good, man. That could be a game they could easily lose. They draw Miami. They got to go to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's no easy out anymore. And then they're home against Duke, who won the conference last year. But the thing is, Duke always seems to play Clemson tough, right? That game somehow always seems to be very close. They finished with South Carolina in the little rivalry game. South Carolina's no joke this year in the SEC. A lot of people think they could be a dark horse. Listen, man, there's a lot of losses here. Yeah. I think there's a lot of losses here, man.
Dabo's inability to get in the transfer portal has kind of killed the momentum of that program, and he's going to pay. He's paying for it. Like, those kids are transferring, not choosing Clemson, and that's part of it. So, I like under. By the way, I just guarantee of the world here. I'm going to guarantee you this: if Lane gets a chance and gets up 7-14 on Clemson, Lane is going to put it on Clemson, and it's not. If he gets the opportunity, he's going to do it. So, like, Clemson's going to lose. Clemson's not going to lose by 3. They're going to lose by 30. Like, that's how it's going to go.
It could if he gets up on him. Let me throw one little monkey wrench at you that we saw a little bit last year. Clemson backdoored their way into the championship game last year in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
No, am I right on that?
No, I think they didn't. Was it SMU, Miami, or no?
They had a
Duke or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, Duke ended up winning it, and Clemson had a chance to get in at the end of the season.
It was Duke, Virginia last year. Remember, because Miami didn't get in, and they got the playoffs.
Right. There was some weird scenario where I think Clemson could have had a shot. But anyway, this is what I'm going to say this year. Everything I just read to you about who they're going to lose to and how bad it could be, with only 2 of all those losses I read to you coming in conference, they could only have 2 losses in conference at the end of this schedule and have a weird shot at backdooring into the ACC championship game. Because a lot of those teams are not in the conference. Right. It could be crazy, but I don't see it happening. Listen, I think Dabo's going to be out. This is going to be bad for Clemson. Let's get to a team that I secretly think is going to be really good in the ACC this year, and hear me out. Plus 2,000 NC State.
I have them as over 6.5. Their schedule is soft. Their schedule is soft.
Yep. This is a sleeper here, baby. Right under the radar. Okay, they've got a solid line. CJ Bailey is ready to have a breakout year at quarterback. I mean, all the reports of him on the summer circuit are that he's going to be ready to go. He looks fantastic, explosive, big arm. The defense returns 3 of its top tacklers, and they made a big splash in the portal to bolster up the defensive front. That defensive front is a lot bigger now. This is a team that's going to be in a lot of games, and their schedule's really favorable, as you just said, Andy. Look, they avoid Miami. They don't have to play Miami. They don't have to play SMU. There's a stretch of 7 winnable games in the middle of this schedule, and 6 of those games are at home.
Yeah.
Look, now they're at Virginia week 1, but I don't think Virginia's going to be as good as they were last year, so that's a very winnable game. They're at Vandy week 3. Same with me on Vandy. I don't think that they're going to be a habitual top 15 team now. That's a winnable game for NC State with how good they could be this year. If they even split that, the only other big test on the schedule is Louisville, and they get them at home. I could see a world where NC State is 9-3, 8-4 at worst, and maybe in a long shot 11-1. 11-1 at the end of that stretch of games, Andy. A possible matchup with Miami in the title game. Is that crazy?
No, the schedule's so soft, man. It's so soft. Like,
yeah,
I'm with you. I like, again, I would do it because I want to have that ticket in my pocket for that reasons we've talked about 100 times already. So I love it. Their schedule, like the games I think are the scary ones for them is like going to Florida State. Like we don't know. I'm not saying Florida State's awesome. I'm just saying like, look, that's a game that could be nerve wracking. But every other team they play, mostly at home, the road games they're nothing. They're nothing. Virginia's the scary one. The first one, that Virginia one, they got to win. They win that Virginia one. Man, I'm loving that 2,000.
Look out. Because like you just pointed out before, a plus 2,000 ticket with NC State, and they backdoor their way with this schedule into the championship game against Miami, I can lay a ton of money on Miami to cover the spread.
100%.
100%, baby. 100%. So I like NC State there. My pick for the championship, same as you. Miami, I got them beating NC State. I'm going to get NC State into the championship game. What about you? Who do you like in there?
I'm going to go with Miami, Louisville. I'm just changing it up. But I like Miami. To me, it's Miami.
Okay.
Miami or bust, man. Miami or bust.
Okay. All right, man. Let's do the over-unders here for the ACC. Listen, we're both on NC State over 7.5 wins. That seems like a lock. We just explained it. SMU plus 8.5. I got SMU at 9 wins. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I'll ride that. And I'm going to take Clemson under 7.5. I think they get to 7. That's the ceiling here.
Yeah, I have on the ACC. I just had it up. Let's see. Oh, I got Clemson under. Clemson under. Miami to win. NC State over. Louisville to win the conference, and I got Georgia Tech under 6.5.
Okay, Georgia Tech under 6.5. Okay, all right.
The Haynes
I like
King
it, man.
things. The Haynes King things, like or whatever his name was. I can't remember his name. I love that.
Yeah, Haynes King. Yep.
Yeah, his things like kind of like that Army quarterback, where it's like when those kind of guys leave, like
hangover.
Yeah.
I will tell you this one thing I've been hearing on the radio down here in Georgia a lot is the kid that's been behind in the last couple of years was like a super stud down here in high school football in Georgia, and he was only sitting behind King because King was a super stud, and they're like, you watch, he's going to be better than King. We'll see.
I didn't know there were good football players in Georgia. That's interesting.
There's quite a bit, man. Yeah. Some big high schools down here.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into the big boys now. Let's hit the SEC first, Andy. It's the SEC Conference Preview brought to you by DWMOD. We'll give you our picks here. Let's just jump on the big boys right out of the gates. Plus 280 Georgia. Where to start? Monstro line that dominates. Here's my notes here, man. Returning Gunnar Stockton, who should be better than he was last year. Nate Frazier in the backfield is a monster. If they get the red zone, it's going to be 7. This team scores on you when they get into the red zone. The bigger story is the stacked defense, man. They're like 3 deep at every single spot with guys that would start on any other Power 4 team in the country. I mean, they just are. And it doesn't hurt that they're pilfering All-Americans all over the place. Like Khalil Barnes from Clemson transfers in, one of the best safeties in the country. This is going to be the best secondary in the country in the country, probably. They play uphill and down. They're just, listen, man, I could go on and on. This will just give me Kirby. Just
Yeah.
give me Kirby and this schedule, okay? They miss LSU, Texas, and Texas A&M. They're not playing any of those teams, okay?
Right.
They catch OU at home week 4, okay? And that's after the Sooners travel to Michigan. Say what you want about Michigan, that's going to be a tough game for the Sooners. And then you got to go play Georgia the next week. They get a decent New Mexico team at home, but New Mexico ain't going to be, I mean, that's a joke. They're at Bama week 6, which you could circle that game, but a lot of people don't think Bama's going to be that good, but it'll be competitive. It is every year. They go to Ole Miss in week 10, but by then, I don't think Ole Miss is going to be in the mix. I think you might agree.
Yep. I do.
Yeah.
I do. I'm
yeah,
with it.
right? And Georgia, big time revenge on their minds in that game. That could get ugly for Ole Miss. It just could. Listen, I could see Georgia rolling through the SEC at 11-1, maybe 12-0. What do you think?
I love Georgia this year. They're my pick to win the SEC. So I'm definitely in at whatever you're going to get them, what number at. So I like Georgia.
Yeah, plus 280 is not bad.
Yeah.
Or you could take Texas at plus 300. Now, here's a team that I'm not as high on as everybody else. Everybody's saying national title, Arch Manning. Look, they're going to be tough, but 19 portal transfers, weapons all over the place for Arch. He started to look way better down the stretch last year. We can't deny that. He did. I personally think there's something to say for continuity again here. You got a coach like Sark. He's bringing in 19 guys that are battling for all these spots to touch the ball. I think it's a bad thing on a team like this. I think you want to be Georgia. I think you want to have your guys know who they are and the backups know their roles. I think that's an important thing.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that?
I think Texas has a great shot to get in the playoffs. I'm not sure on my list if I got them in, but that's not who I'm taking in the conference title game against Georgia. I like a little bit of a different team, but I think Texas is going to be good. A lot of their games, their big games, are like, Ohio State comes to Texas. That'll be a big one. The cocktail whatever Texas, the Red River rivalry.
Yeah, that's
and then
coming
you
up.
got Ole Miss coming. And they go to LSU and they go to A&M, and one of those games I think they get got. That's why I think it keeps them out. So. But I like
if
them.
you want to win the national title, you are going to have to change up from your defensive style of playing it safe and staying in coverages. You're going to have to bring the heat. You're going to have to get after teams, and that'll be a big change for them. They don't do that much. They don't do that a lot. That defense is going to have to change. You watch them. They don't play that way. I'm just not a very big Sark guy, and I know you're probably not either. He's one of those guys that you get a million texts from me every year, Andy, where every time he's down in the red zone, he just gets too cute. He tries to get too smart. He's going to outsmart you. He outsmarts his damn self, and he doesn't come away with anything, man. Week 2 at Ohio State, everybody's on the Texas money line there. I don't know about that. I mean, I probably won't even bet that game's going to be close, but I don't think that's any kind of – I don't love Texas in that spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why would you? It's two good teams. You have to see what it looks like. But
yeah. I mean, the game is that it's at Texas, but still, man, it's a huge test, man. They'll probably make the 12-team playoff, but like you said, look, at Tennessee week 4, I think that's a game I'm going to pay real close attention to. Tennessee's a little bit of a sleeper. Then they're on the bye, and then like you said, it's OU. They got a tough stretch where they catch Ole Miss at home. Week 8 at LSU. Week 10 at A&M. Week 12. I mean, come on, man. Like that. That's a little tougher than people think. I personally don't see them being as good as everybody thinks. I'm with you.
Yeah, it's just not for me. It's not for me. But they're going to be good. I just don't think we're going to get Texas, Georgia. And I'm much rather be comfortable with Georgia than Texas. So that's why I'm out.
Yeah, right. I mean, you could look at that the Buckeyes in the Texas game and be like, doesn't really matter who wins or loses that game because both of these teams can run through their conference and still get to the playoff. But after what you just pointed out with the schedule, and I just looked at the schedule, now I'm thinking, I think this game might be pretty important to Texas. I think they might need to win that fucking game, or they could wind up 9-3 and be looking out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Ohio State, I don't think Ohio State loses that game. I don't think it matters. Texas loses that game, they're in trouble. They're in trouble, I think, man.
Because they got some big ones coming up, man. They got some big ones coming.
100%. Plus 650 LSU. Listen, we're going to hear about LSU all year, whether we want to or not, man. Yeah. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm not in on this. I'm not in it. 60 new players, complete turnover. They get Levitt from ASU. The running back room is mid. The O-line is solid, not great. Wide receiver talent is high, but it's still got to gel with the quarterback before they get going. Defense is an issue. Listen, the defense hasn't been good at LSU for a long time, right, Andy? You think it's just going to turn around because Lane comes to town? That ain't his specialty.
Yeah, but like I'm with you, but the schedule is lovely.
You think?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Their first road game. Their first road game is Ole Miss, right? And I know what you're going to tell me is that that Ole Miss team is going to be very up to beating LSU because of Lane. But you know who's going to be very up to beating Ole Miss? Lane.
Like, he might be.
You think since they kicked him off the team and he wouldn't let him coach in the playoffs? Lane will be very up. So
it's at Ole Miss though, man.
But I love that. I love that Lane's going to come in there. I give me LSU in that game, and then let's just say LSU wins that game. By the way, okay. Then let's say they do. They beat Clemson, La Tech, Ole Miss. Then A&M comes. I'm under on A&M this year. Then McNeese State. Then they go to Kentucky. Then Mississippi State. Then they go to Auburn. Then Alabama comes. Then Texas comes home. Then they go to Tennessee. They go to Arkansas.
Those three games right there: Bama, Texas, Tennessee. That's a tough little 3-game stretch there for sure.
But what's the record?
Like that game.
Well, I think the record could be 3-0 through that.
And those 3 games?
Yes.
You think they could be Bama, Texas, and Tennessee?
2 of those are at home. 2 of those are in LSU.
I don't see LSU being that good.
This is
putting LSU in a realm of like Georgia or.
Well, let's go one by one. Do you think who's better this year, Bama or LSU?
I think Bama's probably slightly better than LSU this year.
I like LSU more. Do you think Texas, we just said in that previous Texas conversation, they're going to lose one of these 2 games? One of those 2 games was LSU, right?
I don't think it's going to be LSU. This LSU team was bad last year, especially on defense.
It's not bad from lack of athletes. It was bad from coaching. It was bad from coaching. And this is not Western Michigan like he's coming into. It's like if I drop Lane on Alabama, what do you think Alabama would go? 11-1? 10-2?
They'd be better.
My point is LSU might be a tier down, but it's ultimately the same thing, right? And it's loaded. I like LSU.
I'm a little more cautious than you are with that at Ole Miss and then immediately playing A&M. I don't think that's a good back-to-back.
That's not what they do.
At Ole Miss week 3.
You're right. They do that. But so do you like over 8.5 for Texas A&M? Because I like the under.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to see. I think they are on my list. I think maybe.
Yeah, give me the under on that.
No, I don't have A&M on the list. I don't know. I'm not as high on LSU as everybody else. I think. I don't know, man. I think this is a team that could be 7-5, man. I really do.
No. I mean, it's just in their sleep. They're 7. Let's go through it. They're going to beat Clemson. They're going to beat La Tech. That's 2 right there.
2,
They're
maybe.
going to beat McNeese State. That's 3. They're going to beat Mississippi State. That's 4. Now you tell me, can they go to Kentucky or Auburn to win? I kind of assume they will do both. That's
one of them.
6. That's 6. Then the last game of the year, they go to Arkansas. That's 7. You tell me they're going to go.
That's it. That's it, because I don't know about that Clemson game. I really don't, man.
Dude, I mean, LSU is so much better than Clemson.
They should be. They should be. I don't know.
I can't wait. Let's go head to head. I'm going to be taking
LSU. But that's
minus
7 right
40.
there.
I'm taking LSU minus 40.
That's 7 right there. And I could tell you, if I give you those 7, I could see them losing to Bama, losing to Texas, losing to Tennessee, losing to A&M, losing to Ole Miss. They could lose all those games.
Or they go
win 2 of them.
And there's 10-2. So I like LSU. I'm in.
This is the last point I'll make on LSU. Lane is not known as being big game Lane. And now we're all of a sudden, because he's at LSU, everybody's going, oh, he's going to beat Texas. This guy's known for losing every big game he's ever in. And now all of a sudden we think he's going to run the table in his first year.
Just to make a point of, we were just talking about this with ACC. He is the anti-Dabo. He's the portal king. And that is, to me, nowadays more important than anything else anybody can be. I don't care how good or bad a coach he is. he gets all the good portal
True.
dudes. And
True.
those good portal dudes matter. Now, we're talking LSU on the rise, Clemson, not the portal king, on the fall. It's very important. And he is going to show Dabo. And I like, he's going to show, and I like count Lane out at your, peril. I'll take Lane.
Yeah, I can't take. I'm not taking him year one. I understand where they're going. I'm not taking him year one. And we've said this every year on this show. This guy's got to start showing us he can win big games. And now all of a sudden we're like he's going to run the table in big games. You got to prove it to me. Got to prove it to me. I got to.
Guys are going 10-2, 9-3. I love it.
Oof. 10-2. Oof. All right, we're going to figure out a bet here. We're going to figure out a bet here that lands somewhere we're both willing to bet on. All right, let's jump on Texas A&M. You brought him up. Reed's back, but he'll need to be more consistent. 6 picks in the final 3 games down the stretch last year was head scratching. They couldn't get anything going against Miami in the playoffs. That was just like head scratching. The defense returned more than enough to piece together with some portal guys to stay stout. That defense was the story last year. I think they'll be good again. If they beat LSU in week 4, which I think they can, that's going to be a good football game. But if they beat LSU in week 4, they could easily start 7-0. Their first 7 games, LSU is the one that they need to get over the hump to get 7-0. But the last 5 games, Andy, are rough. They're at Bama, at South Carolina, who everybody thinks is going to be really good, at Tennessee, who's going to play spoiler to somebody this year.
Tennessee at A&M.
At home, yeah. They're at home against Tennessee, but they'll play spoiler. Then they're at OU and then home against Texas. They'll need to be 7-0, buddy, because that's reeking at 8-4, right? I mean,
it's under. They're not going to beat LSU. They're 7-5. It's like they're just not going to do it. This is why I'm like, give me under.
Okay, yeah, right. It's just that stretch, man. How do you start 7-0 and then catch that stretch of games is tough. I'm with you. I don't think they're going to be able to compete in those last stretch of games. Right. Let's jump on Bama. What's your takeaway? I've got some notes here. What do you think?
Look, DeBoer's done more with less. I think he's a really good coach. And I'm kind of neutral. That's a nothing for me, but I can tell you, I'll spoil it. I don't have him making the college football playoff, and I do think it's worked last year. I don't think he survives it.
That's bad news.
Yeah, I mean, he's got East Carolina, then he goes Kentucky, Florida State, South Carolina. Like they're going to lose to Georgia. They're going to lose to LSU. They're going to lose to someone else randomly, and then that's where the issue becomes. Like that's 9-3 to me. 10-2, 9-3. Maybe they beat LSU. That's still 10-2. They'll probably get in at that, but like it's a tightrope.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like DeBoer's a good coach, man. He's a good coach, and everybody's expecting him to be Saban down there. There's a little bit of turnover, and like you said, he has turned some things around mid-season that were hot messes and competed and beat teams in the SEC. I think he's been good. He's catching a lot of hate here. Pundits galore love the under on 8.5 wins here. The media's been trying to bury DeBoer since he's got there. I mean, back off the dude a little bit, man. Listen. Keelan Russell is supposed to be the real deal. Yeah. This quarterback, he's finally going to have a quarterback that I think is going to be like kind of like his guy, be able to do what he wants to do offensively. He hasn't had that. He's going to be great. He's going to be a big help. He's a gamer. He's an elite athlete. I won't expect him to throw, all the bad INTs that Milroe did, right? And I won't expect him to not be able to pick up any first downs with his legs like Simpson couldn't. I think this is a quarterback that gives him what he needs here, man. The line can't be as bad as it was last year. Everybody's like, this line's horrible. Last year's line was horrible. I bet they got some fixes going. The defense should be pretty good. Like you said, DeBoer's a good coach. Let's look at the schedule. Let's look at the schedule really deeply here, okay? Everybody seems to think that Florida State is going to come into Tuscaloosa and beat them in week 3. My fucking ass. I'll take that action against anybody. DM me. That ain't going to happen. I'll take that bet. I'm more concerned with week 4 at South Carolina.
Right, South Carolina at Alabama. Right.
I mean, yeah, South Carolina at Alabama. Just because of Sellers and what that team is. I think Bama's a better team. They'll be more disciplined to win that game, but you got home run hitter down there he might sneak up on you. I'm more concerned with South Carolina than I am Florida State. But it's the midseason week 6, 7, 8, and 9 that's a gambit for them, man. Right? They got Georgia at home, at Tennessee, A&M at home, then they're on a bye. Then they're at LSU.
Right.
That's tough. Even if they walk away with
game
that,
That Tennessee game
Yeah.
is such a sandwich spot. It's such a bad spot for him.
It is, man. And even if they walk away with a split there at 2-2, that gets them to 8 wins. You know what I mean?
And by the way, the
I'm not
last game is Auburn. I mean, like I like Auburn over
Iron
and,
Bowl.
and like it's never going to be fun. That game's just not going to be fun for them. So
No,
it is what
no,
it is.
it's going to be a tough game. I'm with you. I think I got them at 8-4, not making the playoff, but extremely competitive. And if you fire DeBoer after that season, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. That guy's a good coach, man. I don't know.
Who do you got him losing to? Because it smells like LSU.
In that 4-game stretch,
Mm-hmm. Well, you said 4 losses. Who are 8-4? Who's the 4 losses? Because it smells like my man Lane.
well, Georgia. I think
Wow.
Georgia, A&M. I don't like that at Tennessee spot either, and I kind of smell that South Carolina trap. I smell that South Carolina trap.
All right.
And I think, yeah.
Anti-Lane. It's become an anti-Lane pod from you. Wow. Okay.
Fuck Lane. Fuck Lane. I don't like him anyway.
I'm in.
Let's talk about the one team that I think we'll probably both agree is the big letdown team in the SEC this year, Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be a big letdown.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm rooting for them, man, but it's not often that you catch lightning in a bottle like they did last year, and then it all comes back the next season, especially with the coach walking away, Lane leaving.
I was going to say, do you know why we're taking the under? Because there's only one reason, because the quarterback's back, the running back's back. A lot of the team left except those 2 players. So, like, that does tell me there's one important person that left that team who's now at LSU.
Yeah. No, you're not. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Everything you say about the dude is correct. You know, it is. Trinidad and Lacey are pretty good, but look, man, they're at Texas. They're at OU. Home game, but it's Georgia. Possibly a hangover loss after the LSU game at Florida. That's a spot to watch them. That's going to be a spot to watch them. They dumped that game to Lane, and then they got to go to Florida. They could fold it up at that point and lose that game. They could be reeling. I'm out on Ole Miss, man. Maybe 7-5, 8-4 tops.
No, I'm with you. I'm down.
Yeah, with me.
I don't want to. I tell you, the team I like is Oklahoma.
Yep. That's what I got. The real contender.
Yeah. Their schedule's nice. Like they go to Georgia, they'll lose, but then outside of that, I like a lot of what they're doing.
Here's another spot that we just talked about, right? Take OU at plus 1,100, and if they get into the SEC championship game against Georgia, you can bet Georgia to cover, right? Mateer is going to be a front runner for the Heisman. Mm-hmm. This dude is good. He was injured last year. We watched him at Washington State, Andy. We loved him at Washington State. We bet on him like crazy, man. If he's healthy, absolute Heisman candidate. The O-line's veteran and consistent. The schedule seems really tougher than it really is, I think. I think their schedule seems tougher than it really is. You got to keep in mind that this defense is one of the best defenses in the country and is going to keep them in a lot of these tough games with Mateer at quarterback. I think that has to be considered. It just does, man. They can steal games. They can steal games away from you. Now, they're at Michigan. That's week 3, 2, 3?
2, 3, something like that, yeah.
That's going to be a game to watch them to see how they. I mean, we're going to get a good feel there. Michigan's not going to be world beaters this year, but that's going to be a tough football game. They're home against Texas, which I'm with you. I think I like them in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I like them in that game. Home against A&M, like them in that one. Mm-hmm. Sorry, buddy, but at Missouri, I like them. I like them in that one.
Oh, please. I love them in Missouri.
Yeah, and then late in the season, home against an Ole Miss team who we both said could be reeling. I think at first the eye test on the schedule is like, oh, that's some teams. But if we look at it and break them down as to how we think these teams are going to be, I could see OU being 10-2, 9-3.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's my pick for the SEC title game, Oklahoma, Georgia.
Yeah, yep, Georgia, Oklahoma. I'm the same, and I got Georgia winning the game, so we're probably the same there. Yep, Georgia 12-1 winning that game. Over-unders. You already said you like LSU at the over.
Yes.
8.5. You got them getting a 9. I'm playing LSU on the under, so that'll be a head-to-head for us. That'll be a head.
Okay.
I think they get to 8, maybe. OU over 7.5. I think we both agreed on that just a second ago.
Yep. I also I have Bama under 8.5, A&M under 8.5, Mississippi State under 5.5, Auburn over 6.5, and sweet Missouri under 6.5.
Under 6.5, huh? I like Tennessee over. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Missouri schedule, you said, is pretty tough.
Yeah, too tough for me. It's just not the year. Also, they're running. Hardy's hurt. He's out for. I mean, what are we doing?
Is he going to start? I thought he was cleared.
I think he's coming back mid-September. Maybe Kansas
Shit.
game would be my guess.
Gunshot to the thigh for a running back that's a tough one there.
Yeah.
I like Tennessee over 7.5.
And you're
But there's
never getting me to bet Heupel. I'm never doing it.
but let me try to talk you into this really quickly.
Sure.
The exact math here requires one, Andy, and only one steal of one of these games. Home against Texas, home against Bama, at South Carolina, at A&M, or home against LSU. They only need one of those, and they could get to 8.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I would guess South Carolina would be my choice, but I don't know.
Yeah, they could
Right,
get
yeah,
2
maybe.
of those. I mean,
Yeah.
in your world, they could beat
Alabama.
Bama, right? A&M, in your world, they could give A&M the business.
Yeah.
They only need to win one of those to get to 8. I think I'm going to take Tennessee over 7.5.
All right. I like it.
You're out on it.
No, I'm not into. I can't do it. I don't like the coach. I don't just like if the quarterback's not the right guy, he's out.
All right, man. All right. Well, that's what we're going to do. Hey, man, Georgia, we're in agreement. They're going to roll. They're going to do it. Let's jump to the Big Ten. That's our wrap up there. We love Oklahoma as a dog, and we love Georgia. Let's jump to the Big Ten. All right, let's get to the Big Ten Conference here. It's the B1G. We know what to expect. The champs, the last 3 years in a row. Can they repeat? We'll find out. Let's jump on Ohio State right out of the gates. They're the favorite to win the conference this year. We know what they got on offense. Julian Saying, Bo Jackson, Jeremiah Smith. It's ridiculous. Little concerned about Arthur Smith. Hearing a lot of people down here in Falcon Country in Atlanta telling me this guy will ruin that offense. You can have all the weapons you want. He won't know how to use them. It'll be a problem. Do you agree with that?
No, not in college. I don't. Like I do agree with that in football, like in pro football, but I think he can do it. And also I trust Ryan Day, to be honest. Like in this hiring, I don't trust Ryan Day to like run my laundry, but I trust him to like hire a guy who can help him do what he wants to do. So I think they're going to be good. So no, I think they'll be fine.
You think Arthur? Okay, all right. But hey, let's look at the defense, though. Right on the defensive side of the ball, they lose Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, and Sonny Stouts, all first-round picks. Like those, that's a big, huge loss on a really good defense. Those are big shoes to fill, but they should easily be in the Big Ten championship game. But honestly, who cares if they aren't? Who cares if they aren't? The loser of the Oregon-Ohio State game may have a better shot at a title run by making the college football playoff and not having to play in the Big Ten championship game. True or false?
True.
Yeah,
we see it every year. True.
Yeah,
so
you see it every year.
Yeah, so I'm with you. But the Ohio State schedule is for really go to USC, which I think they'll win. They're going to beat Michigan.
Yeah.
Oregon is a toss-up. Indiana's a toss-up. At Texas. Like in my opinion, they have to win one of those 3 games, right? Just one, and they'll be fine, I think. But if they lose all 3, which is possible, by the way, Texas, Indiana, Ohio State, or Oregon, that's troublesome. But I think they're going to win one. So I don't think they care personally, but.
Yeah, they could easily do that, man. At USC is a game people are circling, but I think Ohio State will handle their business in that game. Here's the sneaky spot for me is at Iowa, right? That's a tough stretch of games there. And then in the middle there, they got that at Iowa. I'm not saying I think Iowa's going to beat them, but kind of a spot you don't want to be if you're at Ohio State in the middle of that, going to Iowa team that's going to be sneaky good this year. Even if you win that game, you come out of there beat to fuck and you won 16-13. It's just not fun, man. That's like week 5, man. The Buckeyes can manage the schedule, though. I think you could be looking at 11-1, but like you said, you could be looking at 9-3. It's possible.
Yeah, the schedule's tough, man. That Texas, I bet they wish they didn't schedule Texas.
Oh God! Yeah.
I mean, because I think they'll beat Texas, but I still like. Wouldn't you rather play Sam Houston State or whoever at that point?
Yeah, right.
Because the Big Ten's not easy.
No, this schedule, this conference is tough. It's top heavy. But it's tough, man. This is a tough schedule. Let's jump on Indiana here because Indiana, the haters are lining up to bet against Cignetti, buddy. And that's emotional, Andy. And we don't make emotional bets here on All Right Bet, do we?
No, you don't. I like Indiana. I think they're going to be good again.
Yeah, right? Listen, you can be a little skeptical of Josh Hoosier if you want, coming over from TCU as the quarterback, as everybody else and their mother will try to remind you. But listen, I didn't know who the fuck Mendoza was either until Cignetti got a hold of him, did you?
Yeah.
Right? And the knock against this kid is that He's a risk-taking gunslinger. He does dumb things. He turns the football over, but that's because he's asked to do that at TCU.
Correct.
Right? They were like, go out there and get the first down on every play. It's all on you. You got to do it. He's not going to have to do that in Cignetti's offense. And I promise you that Cignetti has already told him, when you go out there on this team, don't do that shit because you won't be playing. Right?
For sure. Cignetti will have him under control or he won't play.
Exactly.
Pretty
exactly. He goes out there and tries to put his cape on Cignetti. He'll be like, and you're done. He ain't going to play that game. The defense is... Listen, the defense is really good again for Indiana. That's the strength of this team. They're going to blow people out, but the huge wins that they had last year will be nail biters this year. Is that fair?
Yeah, but their schedule is kind of soft, if I'm being completely honest.
It is,
and it's like get to the playoffs soft, and let's see what happens when we get there.
Yeah, they won't be tested through the first 6 games. Those are all cakewalks, man. Into Week 7 for the Buckeye Showdown. Yeah. Their first real test is going to be against the Buckeyes, man. And then it's right to the big house after that. So that's not too easy. Michigan's going to be good this year. The only other spot on this schedule is USC at home in mid-November, though. Right? USC at Indiana, I don't like. If that game's at USC, maybe that's a spot. I don't like them at Indiana in November.
Nope. Not going left to right. Don't like it. Never like that.
No. You just pointed out easy schedule. I think that the Indiana can get to 11-1 at worst. Listen, easy ticket to the CFP, whether they're in the Big Ten championship game or not. Very possible 11-1
for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Quit shitting.
I think I'll be there. I love Cignetti. I think he's awesome. Like I'm taking him in there.
If I met Feinbaum, I just thought, just shut up.
Yeah.
Just eat your Big Ten crow and shut up. Oregon. What do you think about Oregon this year?
I love Oregon.
Everybody loves them. Yeah.
Okay. Count me in.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they've proven they can go and beat Ohio State. So it's like, Boise will be interesting. You'll be interested. USC doesn't scare me, not Oregon wise, But outside of that, they go to Ohio State, but do you look at the rest of their schedule? It's I'll see you in the playoffs.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. Everybody's darling to take the Big Ten this year, but like Lee Corso said, not so fast, my friend. Listen, I do love the fact that Oregon has finally understood that this isn't the Pac-12. You've got to stop the run to win in this league. You're not going to play 42 to 37 football games every week, and they've done exactly that. I mean, they've got the best D-line maybe in the country.
Yeah,
maybe in the country. This defense is going to stop the run. This team's loaded everywhere. The schedule's on cruise control, as you pointed out. The only test is in the first half is at USC. It's week 5. It's early. Maybe USC could give them something, but I don't see that as being a big spot. Here comes the not so fast. You're heading to Ohio State in mid-November, having not been tested really at all. Cold weather game, don't like it. It's going to be a roadblock for the B1G title game. But like I said, doesn't matter. No big deal. Who cares if they lose that game? They're going to be in the playoff. They're going to finish 11-1, and skipping that game could probably help them.
I 100% agree. I love Oregon. I think they're going to be awesome.
Yeah. I'll give you one game that's going to be fun to maybe keep an eye on. Michigan going to Oregon late in the season. Now, normally I'd be like, nah, not this year. Oregon's stacked. But Kyle Whittingham is very familiar with that team and what to do going up there. I think he'll have a good game plan. That Michigan-Oregon game, I think, is going to be a fun one, man. What do you think?
Yeah. I think Oregon's going to kind of depend some by the end. But, you make a good point. That Michigan will be better at the end than they are at the beginning. And so that is kind of more interesting. But I don't think it's going to matter much.
Yeah, probably not. You're probably right, man. We love Kyle Whittingham. Let's jump on Michigan.
Yes.
We love Kyle Whittingham.
You're right. It's a great point. They're going to be better in the end, and that's kind of scary. But
yeah, Whittingham's great, man. This just screams necessary roughness to me. Like this was the straight arrow Gennaro hire. You know what I mean? To bring him in.
You're right.
It's going to be good, man. I expect Michigan. I'm not going to expect them to compete for the Big Ten title, but they're going to play spoiler this year, man. Whittingham teams are disciplined. You know that. They're prepared. They're sound in all 3 phases of the game. They're going to do that. You and I we love this team. This guy's team's from all right, but you know that. If Underwood evolves this year, which I believe he will, I believe he will. Look, this team's going to be dangerous. Underwood is catching a lot of hate for a kid that was a true freshman last year on a team that had a clown regime of coaches and getting fired for sleeping with staffers and other staffers getting fired for going through email. I mean, like, this was a joke last year. They didn't have a quarterback coach for the kid, and he was a true freshman, and everybody's writing him off like bust. Please. Kyle Whittingham's going to come in, and this kid's going to have a hell of a season, man. He's going to be good.
Yeah. I have
Michigan,
my actual opinion on Michigan is like I don't have one, so it tells me I don't know what to think of them. So you could convince me both sides. So it's not interested for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with them yet.
Well, they got one of the best secondaries in the conference. If anybody merges as a rush threat, they're going to be a real problem on defense. I'll tell you that. The big issue here is going to be the schedule. Like you said, it's tough, man. They got OU in week 2. They get Indiana at home, but that's not a fun game. They also have to face Oregon and the Buckeyes on the road. That's not going to be fun. I mean, you don't want to have to do all that. Don't be ready to throw this season in the trash, though. Even if they go 2-2 out of the gates there because the schedule's so tough, just hold on. Because after being tested early, this young group could gel, and this could turn into a Michigan versus everybody spoiler run down the stretch, and that's when they're dangerous, even at 8-4. That's where I think they land. They're going to spoil somebody's shit.
Yeah, sure. You know? I'm with you. Again, they could also be 7-5, and I like them more next year, probably.
Probably.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah. But they're going to gel. USC, everybody's kind of big on. What do you're not?
No, I mean I like them, but USC is going to give a game or two away that they should absolutely win and cost themselves the playoffs. It'll be just like last year. To me, it's this almost identical team. I just think that's how it works. So last year I had them in the playoffs. This year, I'm taking them out.
Yeah, and Mavia, he's a good quarterback, but he's got his gunslinger issues that he had. I don't think that he's going to clean that up too much this year. Fun to watch, makes big plays, but makes dumb plays too. They're going to score. But listen, we know the Miller boys are going to get off, though. Kalen Miller on the offensive line is going to be lighting it up. King Miller's going to be tearing it up. A running back, that's going to happen for sure. The questions with the team's going to be on the defense, like you said. I think stopping the run in late October and November is going to be a big problem for them. They haven't evolved the way Oregon has. They think they're going to outscore people. They're not. At PSU, at Penn State, that's going to be a loss. At Wisconsin late in the season, that's going to be a loss. At Indiana, that's going to be a loss. I mean, that's just the way it's going to go, man. At a loss at home to the Buckeyes. Listen, down the stretch, I don't see the Trojans pulling away from anybody.
Yeah.
7-5, 8-4 tops for me here.
Yep. I'm with you. It's kind of a stay away. That's. I don't like them as much this year. Last year I loved them. This year, nope.
No, I don't even think they play spoiler this year. I think it's going to be a rough go for them. Wild card team for you in the Big Ten.
Penn State.
I'm going to roll with Iowa. Penn State. Yeah. Penn State's going to be. Yeah, they're going to be pretty good. Go ahead, roll on Penn State.
Well, the schedule is absolutely couldn't be better. They miss every heavy team possible, really.
Every team.
So and if I'm all they got to do is win 10, 11. I think what you should be doing is betting Penn State to make the playoffs. I think you should bet them to win the conference. Not because I think they're the best team in the conference. I just think they might have the opportunity to play for it. And so that's kind of where I don't think they're going to get there. I have them in and out of the playoffs. So we'll see where I land, but I think that to me is the team. That's the one. Also, Iowa State guys all went over there. It's not going to be a new system for them.
No, right.
It's going to be good. They're going to be good.
That track record on this show, we love Campbell.
Yeah.
I mean, we love Campbell as a coach. We're always betting on him. I wanted him to get the Michigan job for years, and Garrett Fuller will tell you that when he comes on the show this year in Big Six Picks, man. I'm telling you. That being said, listen, Penn State, the schedule is a joke. It's a joke, bro. Actually, let's take a look at it, Andy. I think I have it right here. There we go.
There you go.
At Marshall, 1-0. Temple, 2-0. Buffalo, 3-0. Wisconsin, 4-0. Northwestern, 5. They could win that USC game. That's 6. Michigan, okay, that's a tough one at Michigan. Maybe they lose that one. They're 6-1. They beat Purdue, 7. Washington, 8. Minnesota, 9. Rutgers, 10. Maryland. This damn team could be 11-1. 10-2 at the worst, maybe. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean,
buddy, do you have them in your playoff?
I believe I might. I believe I might.
We'll see. I don't know if I did. I might have changed it at the last minute, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The only other wild card here, I don't think will happen, but there is a world where Iowa could maybe be looking at 10-2 and causing trouble for people with a couple of 3-point wins. If a couple of games go their way, listen, every game of their schedule is winnable except the Buckeyes, right? And they catch the Buckeyes at home. I pointed that out already, but I think they'll lose that one. But outside that, it's at U of M. They could win that game. At Washington, they could win that game. It'll be tough, but they could do it. I'm not being crazy, but a couple of turnovers here and there, good bounces in those close games, Michigan, Washington game. This team could be 10-2 based on their schedule at the end of this season. This could be crazy at the end of the year in the Big Ten, and nobody thinks it will be. They think it's going to be a runaway.
I by the way, I got to be honest with you. I got Iowa under 7.5.
Oof. Okay.
Not
well, that's what I said. They could be 7-5, but a couple of bounces and 3-point wins could be 10-2. That schedule's just like that, man. Okay, who do you got in the Big Ten championship game?
I'm gonna go with Ohio State, and I'm gonna go with Indiana.
Yeah. Yep. I think that is going.
That's what I don't think Penn State gets in there, but they would be an interesting flyer. I think whoever wins Ohio State, Oregon's getting in, so I'm just gonna pick Ohio State right now. But I'll take Ohio State.
Yeah, the same here, man. Ohio State over Indiana in that game, but I think that they get into the playoffs, and that takes us to an interesting spot. Let's jump into the playoffs here. Okay. Let's jump into our playoff picks. Now, listen, I'm going to start with the 4 teams I think will get a bye, and you follow me up. My byes are going to be Georgia, Ohio State, Miami, Notre Dame.
I have Notre 3 of the 4. Cake. The only one I don't have is I have Texas Tech in there.
Here's my reasoning. Texas Tech's schedule is even worse than Notre Dame's. I think even if unless they're undefeated, but if they go 11-1,
that's what I think. I think Miami's 11-1. I think Texas Tech's 12-0.
Okay, they got to be 12-0.
This is what I'm saying, though. That's why I think that. Like, I think that's the point.
Because if Notre Dame's 11-1 with their only loss being a tight one to Miami, they're getting that bye over Texas Tech.
Yeah, probably. But I think Notre Dame beats Miami. And then I think Miami wins out, but I think Texas Tech wins out. That's 12-0.
Yeah, it's very possible. Very possible. Okay, let's jump on Group of 6. They're only getting 1 team this year. I think we'll both agree on that. I'm going to go first and throw a hot one at you. It's not going to be Boise State, man. I don't think it's going to be Boise State this year. They're going to be it's not that much more of a competitive conference, but I think they wind up with 3 losses this year, and that's not going to be enough to make a difference because I think there's a lot of other Group of 6 teams this year that could be like 11-2, 10-3 with the championship. I don't know. I think it's going to come down to extremes to me. I'm gonna go with Liberty. I'm going to go with Liberty because their schedule is so soft. This team could be 12-1 and have won their conference.
I'm going Boise.
Yeah, stick with Boise.
Yeah, I think Boise could be 9-3, and if they lose to Oregon by 10, they're in my opinion. But that we'll see. It seems like the most obvious choice, but I like them. You could maybe convince me Memphis sneaks in there or some team like in that conference, but I like Boise. I think they're going to be good. All
right. I think don't sleep on UNLV. Don't sleep on
UNLV, Boise, like
UTSA.
Those teams. Yeah, those teams. But I think Boise has because Boise's playing Oregon, and if it's close, I think that's going to be better than almost a win. I think it'll be helpful.
Yeah, if those guys slip up a bit, my long shots are going to be UTSA and UNLV. Both of those teams could be 10-1, in the final. We'll see. But you're going to go with Boise. I'm going to go with Liberty. Okay, at-large bids in no specific order for me. We got Texas Tech in.
Yeah,
I'm going to Texas.
Okay,
you agree? Yeah. Oregon.
They're my last spot. I have one last spot. I'll give. I have 2 teams fighting between one spot. That's one of the 2 teams.
Oregon or Texas?
Texas.
Texas is okay. I got Texas, Oregon, Indiana.
Yep.
I'm going to take BYU because they're only going to have 2 losses to Notre Dame and Texas Tech. And I'm going to have Oklahoma.
I have those teams. The other 2 teams, I have LSU in there.
Okay.
And I think the last spot comes down to Penn State and Texas. I think those, to me, are the final. That's the final invite for the party. is Penn
Okay.
State or Texas. And I love Penn State's schedule. I think I'm gonna lean Texas, but boy, they better be careful. Penn State is just lurking with that schedule. So I'll take Texas, but man, you should take Penn State to make the playoffs at whatever odds you can get.
Here's the only reason I'm not going to do it, Andy. To me, if they've got 2 losses and Texas has got 2 losses, this is going to be a no-brainer for the committee. That schedule's a joke for Penn State. You didn't play in the championship game. You didn't win the championship game. Texas has 2 losses to Georgia, and so, I mean, that's going to be a no-brainer. I think they'll just be, strength of schedule will knock them right out of it. I think.
But the problem is that Texas plays Ohio State, and Texas
Yeah.
loses there, loses to Georgia. That's 2. Now you tell me Sark's got to go 10-0 the rest of the way. I don't know. I don't trust
that's
it.
a big. That is a big. I don't know. You're 100%
Would
right.
you take
man.
a 9-3 Texas or a 10-2 Penn State? I think if Penn State, it was 10 years ago and Penn State was in the SEC, we'd all take Penn State. So
Sure.
you have to give the same side argument to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That's why I think that's where it wins.
Well,
But I'm
they've
gonna
been the
take Texas
champs
for-
the last 3 years. They've been the champs the last 3 years. So your argument's sound. Your argument is sound on that one. Let me throw a Hail Mary at you here just for fun in the ACC.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say you're going to have 2 3-loss teams probably in the playoffs here. Let's say NC State does what I said, and they go 9-3 and backdoor into the ACC championship game and knock off Miami to go 10-3, having beat Miami. I think they get in.
Well, they would automatically, right? They probably
They would for winning the championship game.
Yeah.
I don't. That's a long shot for fun, but keep an eye on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, for sure. Like UVA last year.
Yeah, could be. More realistic here for me, Texas A&M maybe as a dark horse. I got them at 8-4, but if they finish at 10-2, and that's just 2 games swinging by a touchdown, probably only losing to OU and Texas, they don't even have to play in the SEC championship game. They'll be in.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, I don't love. I'm guessing I'm riding with Penn State as my dark horse. That's the one for me.
Okay. Yeah, Penn State's probably going to be the dark horse there. Listen, Georgia, Texas, all these teams are in. That's a lock. I think of the long shots on my list, I think A&M probably the most likely to have a shot at getting in.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure, on that list. Yeah, for sure.
On that list, probably for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, who do you got in the championship, man? Who do you got going on here?
I got Georgia and I got Oregon.
Okay, you got Georgia and Oregon. Yep, I got Georgia and Oregon in the championship game. I'm going to tell you that the Dogs knock out Ohio State in the playoffs. I'm going to say Oregon gets past Miami, and then give me Georgia over Oregon in the final.
Oh, okay. I have Oregon over Georgia.
Okay, all right, you're going Big Ten again. I think this is
Yeah.
the year for the Dogs.
My
My
Final Four is Notre Dame, Oregon, Georgia, and Lane. I'm taking Lane in the
man.
Final Four.
No, Lane. Lane is not making it to the Final Four. Stop it.
Well, you're true, but I think you get like Lane wins and then he gets Texas Tech. Like whoever gets Texas Tech is going to beat them, and that's a very important spot to me. I think Texas Tech is very good, but they're just not going to win the national title. So that spot is to me I love that spot for whoever. So I'm just giving it to Lane because I want the world to explode when Lane gets to the Final Four.
Oh
So,
God.
I like Oregon. I just think Oregon's good, man. I just think it's the 4th year in a row, different team, Big Ten. That's that's what I'm going with.
Okay. All right, man. Well, hey, on our way out here for fun, you want to throw me a couple of Heisman long shots or Heisman regular guy? I know we don't like to bet them early. You know what I mean?
It's never. You got to let them change a little bit. But yeah, I like Mensa at 9-1.
For sure.
At
Mensa plus
950.
900.
Yeah, that one's. It's not double. If you want, give you like a double digit one. Because those are the ones.
Listen, take Dante Moore at 1200.
Yeah, for sure. I'll throw you one. You're gonna hate it because you've been talking. I've really turned this into a Lane podcast. But Sam Levitt at 25. Look, let me just remind you, he led the Arizona State team to the playoffs, and I think they won the game. So people already know him. That is as important as anything in these voting processes. And if he gets off and starts blowing it out in the system, I have no idea if he will, but if he does, like he's gonna be leading going through October. And if Lane does what I think Lane can do with him, that's at 25. Cool.
Lane bringing in Scattaboo? Because I tell you what, that was the story that year. I tell you that, man. The Scattaboo was the man.
I would also throw Sellers in there.
I'm out on Sellers. He'll have too many bad games. You know what I mean? I'm going to be out on Arch Manning. I'm going to be out on that. I'm really going to be out on CJ Carr. He's the front runner right now, but I'm going to tell you this right now. That schedule is too cakewalky for him to be a Heisman candidate. They're going to be blowing people out. It's just not going to. That's not going to happen.
I actually will say this: if you think Notre Dame's going to go undefeated, I do think betting him to win the Heisman is a good bet. If you think they're going to go undefeated, and they have a good chance,
I don't.
If Notre Dame goes undefeated, they are giving the Heisman to that court. I just think that's a slam dunk.
I think you're right. But I don't think they will. And I'm going to bring back one Andy St. Clair draft pick to prove why. They lose Love, and you can't even name that backup running back to Love, who also got picked in the first round. They lose both those guys. That was a big part of that team last year. No. They're not going undefeated. Here's the one I'm going to put money on.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Mateer at plus 2,200 at Oklahoma. Sure. If that team rallies into the playoff and that guy steals a couple of big games, the media is going to be all over that, man. Give me Mateer at plus 2,200, and I'll take a long shot at Malachi Toney. He's the only non-quarterback I'm going to put money on, plus 3,500. He could have a big year of returns and just long 80-yard runs. And
he's going to have to do that because the problem is that Mensa is going to get him the ball, and then Mensa is going to get those stats too. And it's going to go to Mensa. So
yeah, he's going to need a couple big returns in big time games and things like that. But a plus 3,500 for $5, I'm going to throw that on there. But Mateer is probably going to be more than a few bucks on it early at plus 2,200 because I think after week 3 or 4, Mateer's odds are going to be like where Carr's are. You know what I mean?
But generally, though, you should wait on the Heisman. You should wait till mid-October.
Yeah, you should.
FYI. Because dude gets hurt in September, then you like him, his odds super tank. Then you could get him and maybe just explain. Remember, was that last year with Tyler Shug or Shuck, whatever his name is? He was bad. And remember, I was like, get on this thing now. And then he got so close.
So close. Yep, I remember that. You're right about that. All right, guys. Well, hey, that's our 2026 college football preview. Like I said, you can roll through those segment by segment. Check them out. We're going to put clips on YouTube by segments because it's a long show. But, hey, there's a lot to get to there, Andy. I appreciate all the hard work you put in on that, man. There's a lot of work goes into covering 10 conferences, man.
Yeah, I got put in the blue tent. I got out. We're good.
You did get put in a blue tent, man.
We're good.
All right, well, hey, we'll be back with Big Six Picks is right around the corner. The NFL previews next week, and Big Six Picks week 1 is next week for college football. We'll have a guest picker on the show. You guys know how that goes. Baby, it's here. We're about to ramp it up.
Let's do it. Good luck, man. Good luck.
Good luck to you, brother. I'll see you. We'll get at it, man. We'll catch you next time.
Touchdown.
Ready? College football is now B1G versus SEC.
Down. Hook.
If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money.
Ready?
All Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works.
Don't cut any of that cramp stuff out.
No.
You got to leave it all in, buddy.
I can't got any of it, man.
God damn.
Yeah,
you got to.
Hey,
we'll come back from the blue tent.
We forgot to give our champs for the Sun Belt.
Well, we'll go back into it. We can just tell them the honest truth. I had some cramp issues, sitting in a weird chair. Oh.